The Mandalorian and Grogu will be cheap. Well, by what standards? We don't know, but it's going to be the cheapest Star Wars movie since Revenge of the Sith, and that's over 20 years' time. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? We'll talk about that. The Electric State movie had kind of soft viewership. Is that a surprise? People care. People even know about it. Speaking of Marvel and Russo's, well, and I believe that was on Netflix too, that movie, but Ted Sarandos from Netflix was talking about Marvel show and the cheapness of Marvel shows. I got Snow White news. The reviews are in. How will it fare over the weekend? And then Matt Damon is part of the Odyssey, so we'll talk about the Odyssey and tons of other things here today with myself, Steph Sabraw, Mike Kalinowski. I'm glad you guys are with us. We're going to have a good show here today. Let's get to it. It's Kristian Harloff Show. It's Thursday. Here we go.
Mustard.
Welcome back to the show here, guys. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday, March 20th. Joining me on the show, as always, on a Thursday, Steph Sabraw. Hello, Steph.
Hi.
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Good. I like this setup you got going on here today. I see it's a work in progress. I see that.
Yes. Next week, it's going to be even better.
I know. I think it's going to keep getting better. I think there's going to be new upgrades all the time. But we don't have to accuse anything happening except pure chaos and no updates on this gentleman's setup here. Look at this. He's the best. We'll see if he's going to freeze, what he's going to do. It's Mr. Freeze himself, Mike Kalinowski. Welcome back to the show, sir. And yeah, you aren't normally
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
You really are Mr. Freeze. I love it.
Right.
It's good to have you guys both here. It feels like the crew is back. I like that. I like it very much. And we have a lot of stories, a lot of stuff to talk about. And so we'll give you the setup. Mike, I'll let you guess. You got to you and Steph back together again. You guys got to get some questions. And what do you think? Excuse me. Who do you think is in the lead? And what do you think that number is?
Okay, so Roxy's out of town. So unless you did it remote.
No, she did not.
It's not Roxy.
Nope.
So you got Rocha by himself on Monday, right? You and
Rocha was by himself on Tuesday. Rocha and I were on together on Monday.
Oh, so two of you guys, then Rocha by himself.
Yep.
Was it Brett yesterday with you?
Brett yesterday.
I'm going to say the lead right now is 67 questions.
Okay, and who do you say is in that lead?
You and Brett, or you and Rocha on Monday.
You did very well for yourself here, Mike. It is.
Real proud of myself.
It was Rocha on Monday with myself, and it was 73, so not too far off.
That's really good. Okay, we got this.
Yeah, you can catch 73. So that's what we'll do today. And what a handful of stories to discuss why we're trying to hit that 73. And the first one, because this used to be the Sith Council, so why not talk about some Star Wars stuff, guys?
Let's do it, baby.
Mandalorian movie. It's the cheapest since the Revenge of the Sith. That's what they say. And here is the report. Jon Favreau's upcoming The Mandalorian and Grogu movie looks set to be the most cost-effective Star Wars film since George Lucas sold off that franchise. Okay. So Collider has found numbers within the California Film Commission website, which indicates the film has an overall production budget of $166.4. As the movie was shot in California, it received tax credits from the state. In this case, managed to get back around $21.75 million. Its cost is just over half of the most expensive Star Wars film to date, and that's Star Wars The Last Jedi, which cost around $317 to produce. I didn't know that. Solo Star Wars story, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker came in at $275 million, while Star Wars The Force Awakens was $245. The cheapest of the Disney era so far, Rogue One, was $200 to produce. The new film does cost more than the prequels, which came in at $115. Yeah, but that was 20 years ago. But there we go. Adjusting for inflation, for it's cheaper as those films rise up the budgets for around $220 million each. The first Star Wars theatrical release since 2019, Pedro Pascal returns as Din along Grogu. The film is also starring Sigourney Weaver, Jeremy Allen White, and Johnny Coyne. Mandalorian and Grogu will open up in May 22nd, 2026. Okay, so we hear this news and they get the tax break, and it still would come in under 200, but 160, good price point, does really make me think, and it does, I think, sign off on the fact that this was indeed a fourth season of a television show, that they had their budget, they knew what they were going to do. It was a smaller thing for television. So the thing that makes me nervous about it means that there's probably going to be a ton of volume stuff, because they probably cut costs that way, because they're probably shooting at the volume. They're probably not shooting on locations. But like we always say, though, there's no talent in here that would seem to exceed that big cost, because even if they got Pedro Pascal to do a voice, they're not going to pay him his normal asking price. So I think at first glance, this could be beneficial, right, Steph?
Yeah, I think this is kind of what we were hoping they would do, especially with one where it does feel like an extension of the show and it's just another season. I don't think that they had to go insane with the budget, and that hasn't worked that well for a lot of movies that we've seen. So, especially after Captain America: Brave New World, I think this is good news. I don't I am a good person for the volume because I don't pick up on it as much, except I will say the only time I really have is The Mandalorian, which I always bring up when they have like 20 council members and it's like, is this the entire community? Then there's going to be
Right.
incest happening. I needed to like use the volume, multiply the people if we're not going to have them actually on set. Yeah, so I do get a little bit concerned about the amount of people that they're using and if they're just going to like make it look small because it is a
Mhm.
movie, not that big feel. But it is like, I mean, this is still a massive budget compared to other movies. It's just small for Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, I think that one of the things that Bob Iger probably said in the first place to even greenlight this is that does seem very much so like the Moana 2 strategy. It's like, hey, what are we doing right now? We're making Mandalorian season 4. Why? Why are we doing that? Let's make it a movie. Can we turn that, Jon Favreau? Do you think you can turn this whole season into a movie? They're 30-minute episodes anyway. Can you turn it into a movie? He's like, yeah, I can turn it into a movie. All right, how long do you need? About a year and a half, 2 years. Okay, great. So it's not going to cost me that much. No, I'll use the volume. Okay, well then you got yourself a green light. We'll put it in the summer. We'll make, if it costs $160 million to make, they will make this money back, regardless of this movie is good. They will make this money back.
Yeah, but also to me, like you hit the nail on the head right there. Like we never saw any leaks of them on location anywhere.
Right.
Nothing. So this, and again, the volume. I hear how expensive it is, but that's for other films that want to shoot on it because I think it's probably, at least the one that they have, is built for their studio, so they don't need to worry about that to rent it out. I have a feeling this is all going to be volume. Like that's my thought right there when I think of that. My face. You know, I don't know, man. In a movie just got to feel like a movie. And I know that's stupid to talk about and to say, but a movie has to have a feel to it. It can't look like a big budget television show. It just can't. It's got to feel.
It's got to feel like a movie, especially Star Wars.
You know what I'm saying? When you see a TV show
Yes.
that then goes to the big screen, you're like, oh, this just looks like they threw more money at a TV show.
Right.
So that's my fear. But again, like you said, you always talk about get these budgets down.
Yeah.
Budget's down, so they're going to make money on this thing. They're not going, and that's good. That's a good thing.
On the business side of it, this is a good way to get it back. But you have to, and as long as the story is good, people. That's the other thing. That's the other point here. If the story is good and you're engaged in the way that you were for season 1, and they make it seem kind of like season 1 and even blend in like kind of what they did in season 2 with the Robert Rodriguez episode when they blended in the volume with real locations, if they can get that feel back and you can put a 2.5 or 2:15 movie out and you can start with that, then that's the right way to go. Business wise, it's the right way to go. It's a good way to get fans going. Okay, it's a good adventure, but the fans are going to say, all right, well, what do you got next? Like, what's next? That's where you have to start to strategize and say, all right. And if I'm Bob Iger, I would say, all right, here's I'm going to put you guys in under the gun here and say, okay, look, can you do the next one for 160? Like that's the trick. Can you get a movie that's not based off of a television show that we already wrote the scripts for TV? Can you do? There's no world where the James Mangold movie is going to be 160. There's no world when the Sean Levy movie is going to be 260. Those are the next two movies, by the way. Those will be the next two. I would say, unless you guys think otherwise.
That Rey one's not happening for a while.
Not for a while. It'll happen, but not for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Daisy Ridley, Steph. I think Daisy Ridley is going to show up in Sean Levy's movie first.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what the last news big headline was kind of pointing to, which would make sense. And I think to have a reintroduction of her character and then maybe get adored by a new generation of fans who are maybe beginning their Star Wars journey with these next round of movies. So that would make sense business wise, I feel like. But I agree with you. I think Mangold and Levy are probably the next movies. And Levy's probably be first.
Yeah. I don't know who's first. I think you're right. I think Levy might be first. Would make sense, especially you can see why they would do that with the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. And if you can move it fast and you can get it going, the question is, where does it land? Will people care? Because it's that second movie, though. The second one is going to be the one where all eyes are going to be on them, because Mandalorian. I mean, well, if Mandalorian and Grogu bombs, then they're going to be in serious trouble. But I just can't believe that we haven't seen a Star Wars movie, Mike, since 2019.
Right.
The first Star Wars movie that we're going to get is going to be The Mandalorian. Grogu is, a big household name, so
but
it'll make money.
And again, we have to. You always bring it up as the Moana 2 of it all.
Yeah.
But I think we just have to always kind of have a side thought of like, well, is this a film that the audience is going to go, well, Mandalorian, I've seen it on TV, so I'll see it when it comes to streaming.
Right.
But then we always throw up Moana 2. So I don't know. Like something like Superman, something like Fantastic Four. I think that's I've got to see this in the theaters. Whereas like a Thunderbolts, Cap 4, I'll wait for streaming. It's almost the big event films of the big event films. That's what people are now kind of pushing the bar farther of what's going to get them into the theater. Whereas this, a new Star Wars film with new characters, I think that gets people in the theater. Whereas Mandalorian and Grogu, we've seen, the families might wait. I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
The trailer has to crush. The trailer has to look exciting. The trailer has to look like exactly what you just said, Mike. I think, Steph, if there's a trailer that looks like it's just a promotion for the next season of The Mandalorian, that's going to go into Mike's point. Yeah, Mike. Go ahead.
A great thing you said. Remember, I think it was Celebration. I want to say it was Mando 3. It was the one with Bo-Katan, and she's flying into Mandalore, and we were like, this feels like a movie.
Yeah.
Like that. It's got to have that feel to it.
It's got to have that feel to it.
But again, then when we saw what we got, and
I know. Well,
trailer's a trailer, so.
But they leaned to but the trailer that it still got people to watch the show. So the question is, will the trailer get people to go watch the movie stuff? And I think that if that's the thing, that if they have a good trailer that gets people in there and it looks like a movie again, then this could, because when it lands in in May of 2026. We got a Star Wars movie again in the theater after it'll be 7 years, which is insanity. It's got to be, but the trailer's got to be great, right?
Yeah, and I'm really hoping the movie itself is great, because I started Moana 2 and you could just, the first song came on and you could just feel the drop off from the first one. And I think Disney making money is not their problem. Like their numbers are, Lucasfilm with Disney, their numbers are good. They like talk about it all the time, and the last movie that came out broke $1 billion. So that's not my problem with them. And I know that that's constantly what companies are searching for first, is like, how do we make money off of things? But
Right.
I think Star Wars really needs a movie that everyone feels like, wow, they really loved this and we really love it. And now we're back moving forward on a franchise that people really love and not just like draw tons of money from.
Right. I agree. You've got it. Someone said it in the comments and they're not wrong. The magic is gone from Star Wars right now. It's gone. And it's not the same kind of fever like when 2015, when that trailer hit for The Force Awakens and people were losing their minds. It's like, it's just not that anymore. and they're going,
Right.
oh, Star Wars thing, okay, and but the thing is with Star Wars, it's not. That's why I always push back when people are like Star Wars is dead. No, Star Wars is not dead. It's in trouble. It's on the ropes. There's no doubt about it. But it's got enough of that juice. It's like an old fighter. If it throws a big right hand, it can win a championship.
Yeah, I mean, and again, we don't know the outcome yet, but I feel like DC is kind of getting ready for that big prize fight of the retired fighter coming back.
Yeah,
and the audience is, whether he's going to win it, the audience is like, I got to go show up for this.
Well, but Mike,
because you always want the underdog. I don't think anyone's at a place with Star Wars. Sure, there's a group that are like, fuck it, get rid of it, sell it back to so and so and this and that. But for the majority of people, I think we all want to be excited for Star Wars. Like 2015, I remember that. Like I think you were at D23 and that trailer dropped or something. I remember your reaction, and I saw it. I was at work and I didn't want to wait until I got home, and I was just like that Chewie we're home moment, and it's just like it just hit.
It just hit, and just because it was the first one, and no one had anything to judge on except we're back doing Star Wars again, and that's the 7 years does help a little bit to say, okay, let's see what you're going to do. How can you get our trust back as the audience? What are you going to do in the theater with that movie? Because to use the thing with DC though, DC isn't even like that old fighter anymore. They're like a brand new fighter, like that just has been trained by the old vet. The question is,
that's a great point.
You know what I mean?
They're the new young gun coming into the ring.
Brand new fighter, just with under the same old camp. But the question is, can they fight? That's the question. We just don't know if they can fight. Star Wars
coach, he's the old coach. Is he gonna have a comeback?
Right,
training the new guy.
Right. Star Wars seems like they're like the broken down old fighter that don't count them out yet. They could throw the big shot. You know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I think that having that kind of budget could be good. What do you guys think about this? Do you think this is a good move? Do you think it's a bad move to have this? Do you think they should be firing as much money as possible to get this thing out the gate, or should they be conservative? Exactly what they're doing. Go ahead and put your thoughts in there. Want to know. We have a few topics here that I want to discuss, and we will do just that. But before we do, I got to tell you, we have some really good sponsors this week. I've been telling you about them. These headphones, man, I'm loving these headphones I've been playing Indiana Jones with them. But let me tell you a little bit more about our sponsors here today. Take it out. Turtle Beach, man. I've had BS headphones for when I was playing games on my Xbox forever. And I said, I have to get something great. Well, guess what? You know that feeling that you get when you're booting up your favorite game for the first time? You're turning it on. You're like, oh, here we go. The late night sessions, the epic wins, the sound of the lobby filling up with friends. Gaming, it just wasn't something you did. It was a whole experience. And the right headset makes all the difference. Turtle Beach is bringing that feeling back with the Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset. It's like stepping into the golden age of gaming all over again. Only this time, the audio, it's richer, the surround sound is more immersive, and the battery lasts an insane 80 hours. No more crackling mics, no more missed callouts, just pure, uninterrupted gaming, exactly the way you remember it, but better. For a limited time only, you can get 10% off your entire order if you use the code Kristian at turtlebeach.com. Don't miss out. Stay warm and level up your game with 10% off at turtlebeach.com. Use that code Kristian. This is what I did. I got the thing, put it on. I've been playing the Indiana Jones game. I've been doing these other things, and I just like sound. For me is the most important. You guys know it. I talk about music and movies all the time, but surround sound to me and the way that it sounds especially when I'm playing a game, all the little things that you miss when you don't have headphones like this, that's what these Turtle Beach Gen 3 Stealth 700 headsets do. They're the best. You'll love it. You got to head to turtlebeach.com, use that code Kristian one more time for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com. Use that code Kristian. They're going to purchase it. You're going to purchase it. They're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You got to support our show, and you have to tell them that we sent you. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. When you get these, I really want you to not only tell them, but then come back and tell me, what did you think about them? I think you're going to love them, and you're going, I'm never going back. Turtle Beach. It's springtime, and spring cleaning is coming. It's happening in my house. We're getting rid of old toys and other things, too, and, giving them away to places. But things you just don't need. You start moving them away. And I'm excited to get rid of all the old deodorants that I've had, Gonski, because as I've been telling you forever, I use Mando. I love Mando. I've been using Mando whole body deodorant, and it's just a game changer. They are the founders of Lumi. Mando whole body deodorant is helping men conquer their odor in a new way. I like it because it's natural, makes me feel good. it's noticeable, that it's working. And that is exactly why I love them. You can use them on anything. It doesn't matter what you pitch, your arms, your legs, your nuts, everything. It's the best. Hey, get stinky nuts? Not anymore? Use Mando. It'll help. There's a special offer. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code and link. You got to use that code Kristian at shopmando.com. That is SHOP Mando.com. Love Mando. Really love Mando. Love using them. I would suggest using the bourbon one. There's so many different ones that work, so many different scents. So check them out. Browse on the site. Use that code Mando. Hey, Mando. Thank you to Mando. Thank you to Turtle Beach. I really hope that you guys are finding stuff that we're telling you about and using those codes, man, because it's very beneficial to us. It keeps us going on the air. It keeps us able to keep doing more shows and doing these things, and it gets you, and you guys get something great. All right. We got more stuff. Steph, where are you? Where's Steph? There she is. Steph,
Hi.
all right, 12 questions right now. 12. You need about 61 to tie. 61
Okay.
more. So we'll see.
Easily doable.
Easily doable. You never know with Steph.
Easily.
Okay. We were just talking about DC. We were talking about the new fighter on the block. Well, Superman, a new look at James Gunn's DCU movie. It could be released imminently. Holy moly, is that the truth? I don't know. An international DC social media account has dropped an intriguing Superman tease today, and it looks like we get a new sneak peek as soon as this week. Find everything we need to know so far right here. Josh Wilding writes, DC Studios released the first Superman trailer last December, and the sneak peek quickly broke viewership records, all while confirming that, yes, people still care about the Man of Steel. With the reboot's July release date nearing, we anticipate seeing much more from the DCU movie in the weeks ahead. New trailers and posters are somewhere on the horizon, and it surely won't be too long before Superman adorns the cover of Empire magazine. There's a lot of buzz on social media this morning as the DC Japan X account just shared the movie's logo along with the words tomorrow. When the post was published, it was around 7 p.m. on Thursday evening in Japan, meaning something could be heading our way as soon as this Friday, March 21st. If so, we'd imagine the official U.S. global social accounts will soon chime in with their own teases. Alternatively, this might be as simple as Superman news somehow tied to Japan and an upcoming event or release date update, for example, so we'd advise against getting too excited. The next Superman trailer is still expected to be released during CinemaCon in Las Vegas next month, but attendees may get a separate exclusive preview separate from whatever is potentially dropping tomorrow. I want them to see the big Silver Age science fiction stuff, the romance, the action beats, crypto, and the one really potent line in the trailer for me. The line that really moves me is when he says, "Crypto, take me home," Gunn said of the first teaser. Then Crypto starts dragging Superman home, and then at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. This is about bringing the innate goodness of Superman and bringing it home. I want to bring this character home. I want to bring this battered world to a brighter place, bringing the healing home. Hopefully, Superman can be a symbol of that. I think this is the right time for the movie, and I'm excited about people seeing the trailer, but I'm also excited about people seeing this as a true representation of the film. So there's that tweet there. Is it tomorrow? Whatever it might be. Let's start with Mike here, who's the DC guy. Mike, so I tend to agree that I think that the Superman trailer will drop during CinemaCon. It's right around the corner. I think they're going to wait for that. So I do think there'll be some kind of look, but what do you make of this? You think we're going to see anything at all from this drop?
I don't know. I feel like maybe because remember, like Super Bowl, we really thought we were going to get something big, and they just did that little Guy Gardner thing.
Right.
But again, I think that CinemaCon was it first week in April, probably.
I think it's the last week of March, beginning of April. Okay.
So I don't need much more. I mean, I love the fact that he said that in that first trailer, everything we saw was pretty much in the first act. You know, you got to build the hype. I get it. I totally understand it, but I don't want too much giving away. I don't know. Have you guys seen the most recent Ballerina trailer?
No, I didn't. Was it any good?
The movie looks fantastic, but in the first trailer, they showed, Keanu Reeves pop up. You're like, oh, he's going to have a cameo. This trailer gave away his role in the movie.
Oh, see, that's why I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it because it really kind of, I was like, oh, why would they do that?
That's what all these trailers have to do. You know what?
Yeah, it was like
you saying that. It's so funny. I think from now on, even though, the reactions to them, people want to see them and stuff too. I think that I'm just going to watch the first trailer from now on, the teasers. I don't think, look at what happened with Sinners.
I went through that, buddy. I went through that for a period with Marvel where I was like, you know what? I'm done watching Marvel things. and it worked trailers, and it worked really well for me. Like I didn't watch. I think I watched maybe the first. I don't even think I watched the Mouth of Madness one or Love and Thunder. Again, those were bad movies to kind of go off of. But
Multiverse of Madness.
This ballerina trailer, like it showed most of the same stuff, but then focused on Keanu Reeves. And I was like, oh, I think he's got a bigger part than his cameo. And I think maybe the film wasn't tracking well and they had to get people in. But I shouldn't have watched it. Yeah.
Well, remember, they did reshoots on that because the rumors were that, because that movie was supposed to come out last year. And the rumors were that Chad Stahelski did not like what Len Weissman did, which doesn't surprise me. I just don't think Len Weissman is a very good director. But then the rumors are that Chad basically went in there, reshot a whole bunch of stuff, and did his thing and made it feel like a John Wick movie. And he probably, because of where it takes place, I think it takes place in between 3 and 4. So,
it does, yeah.
Yeah. So if that's the case, you bring John Wick in again and making it essentially a John Wick 4.5, if you can, with coupling him up with Ana de Armas or reteaming with Ana de Armas. They were in that really ridiculous movie together. So that makes sense. But of course, I think that Superman, Steph, when you look at this movie, the hype is definitely real for it. You know, I think people are waiting for the next drop. I think that they're doing it right. But question one, do you think it'll be CinemaCon when we get the trailer? And question two, will they show anybody more than just the trailer? Will they show? Remember, last CinemaCon or 2 years ago, they showed the whole Flash movie. Will they show people Superman? I tend to say no, but I don't know what you think.
I don't think so. I feel like James Gunn really appreciates the au natural experience of the movie with the fans, but I don't know his track record actually. So he might be into that, but I think definitely doing something at CinemaCon. I'm with you guys though, where I've never liked trailers that give away everything. I get that you want to fulfill a promise of what's to come in the movie and not throw people off too much, but I don't think that you have to provide everything that's going on. Either way, for his movie, I don't think it will make or break the difference. I think everyone's really excited to see Superman. So I personally don't need to hear early reviews as early as CinemaCon, like what The Flash did. And I feel like
I don't
it
think they need to do
honestly
that.
hurt The Flash because they came out being like, this is the best movie ever.
Okay.
And then I feel like people watched it with too high of expectations. And then it met this middle ground that was odd.
I think that also, I don't think you're wrong, but I also think the reason that they did that is because there was no hype around the movie and they were trying to get people to get excited about it, to get some kind of word out about it. Hopefully that helped. So I think that I don't think they don't need that for Superman. I think they're going to hype people up with a big trailer, but this is the thing, what we were just discussing, as Mike just brought it up. How much are they going to show in that trailer? Right? How much are they going to show? They're going to show too much, because they show too much. And I love Cal in here, one of our loyal viewers, Kingport Cal. You are very wrong, sir. He says that stop it with the Sinners trailer. They didn't show you everything in 2 minutes. They showed that entire freaking movie. Like, you look, they show twists. They show who the vampires are. They show certain things, how things are going to happen. They show like major moments in that you can piece together. And I said, why in the world are you doing? Because the contrast from that first trailer of the mystery of who's who to basically just showing you everything in that second trailer. And I hope, Cal, I'm wrong. I hope I'm dead wrong, but it looks, that's what they do with movies all of the time. And I hope they don't do that with the CinemaCon trailer, because if they drop that CinemaCon trailer, and let's say they don't give away everything, that's not going to be an exclusive trailer. That's going to be a trailer that drops probably right after they show it to the people at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Mike, what do you make of the, because this movie, out of all of them, you always hear conflicting reports, right? With test screenings, you always hear sometimes, well, it was really good or it was really bad. This one is the craziest one I've ever heard. It's like, and it seems to all be from Snyder, which is hilarious. But it's like, I hear it's really good. I hear it stinks. I hear it's too jokey. I hear the jokes work perfectly. I hear that this, and it's like this balance of now the newest report is that it's supposed to be really good and a great balance, more like kind of Guardians 3. But I know that you've talked about this at length, but the fact that it's testing positive now, does that give you hope, or you're like, let's just see the movie?
Yeah, I for a very long time, especially when it came to DC, I would always kind of hype those pre-screenings up, like, look, we're gonna have a win, it's gonna be great, and you never know. I mean, like you gave a great example. They're clearly testing it to different audiences that are not a certain demographic. They're getting a wide berth of people who have, as we all do, we all have varying opinions.
Yeah.
So it's like some people aren't into superhero movies. There might be the ones that are saying this is great. People that are diehard superhero movies going, nah, Superman shouldn't be funny. Like,
well, as long as it's not Superman himself, but I'll tell you, there's some great zingers that come out of this comment section sometimes. Someone said the Titanic trailer spoiled the sinking.
Oh my God.
It's pretty good. And then Cal, no, man, listen, I very well could still enjoy the movie, and I probably will. I love Ryan Coogler, but it's not going to mean that I'm going to be watching and going, oh, that was awesome. I wish I didn't know it was coming.
All right. Well, to Cal's point, Cal, right?
Yeah.
Cal, have you seen the new John Ballerina trailer? Let me know if you think that spoiled John Wick's role in the film, because it clearly did.
Yes, I'm glad that I didn't watch it. Now that I know,
don't me too.
I won't watch.
Stay out of it.
Yeah, I don't want to know that. I mean, and sometimes I don't know what the marketing thing, because it's not the director.
But I see 100% what the marketing people did with that. They're like, shit, this movie's we're not getting awareness. Damn it. Pump up Keanu, put him more in it.
Which makes sense.
I get it.
Yeah, it makes
but
sense.
You don't need it.
No, I understand that too. But all right. Anyway, we've got Superman. When do you guys think we're getting the trailer? Do you think that it's going to be at CinemaCon? I think a lot of people feel like it will be. Is it the right time, considering it comes out in July? So put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, we're going to move on to another hyped up movie that's coming out real soon. We talk about this anytime there's a story. And that, of course, is The Odyssey. I'm so pumped for this movie. It's becoming, I don't know where it's going. By the time I do my list, I have no idea where this is going to land. It could be number 1. It could be number 2. I don't know. All I can tell you is that I'm really excited for this film. Okay, so there's some images now already, and this is The Odyssey. Matt Damon's Odysseus prepares to face Prometheus, the Cyclops, in the new set photos. So here are some new photos from the set of The Odyssey, having been shared online, and they find Matt Damon's Odysseus preparing to enter the cave of the monstrous Cyclops. Now, more photos from the set of the adaptation of The Odyssey have been doing the rounds online, and this time we have another look at Odysseus as he prepares to enter the cave of the Cyclops, known as Prometheus. So filming for those scenes is taking place at Nestor's Cave in Greece. I love that they're filming in Greece. And we have heard that a 6x6 mechanical animatronic puppet of Prometheus was created for the sequence. I love that as well. Unfortunately, we don't have any shots of the monster himself. I don't find that unfortunate. I don't want to see it until I see it. But we will have to update if anyone find themselves online. In the original story, Prometheus was the son of Poseidon, god of the sea, and the nymph Thusa. Odysseus and his men were captured by the Cyclops. What's that? What did you say, Mike?
Nothing. I'll wait. I'll hold it.
Go ahead, Billy. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, Frank. When they were cast ashore on the coast of Sicily, Prometheus devoured several of Odysseus' companions before the legendary hero managed to blind the giant and lead the survivors to freedom. Some of the pictures here. Damon on the set. And let's see if I can. Does that work? No, it doesn't work. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll bring this up. Hold on. I'll show you some of the set photos themselves right here. But this is just some of the pictures that are coming around now. There it is. Okay. This is that one. This is great. Okay, so there's 2 pictures right now, but it's just the more you hear about this thing, Steph, the more like at least I know you're the kind of in the same thing, the fantasy realm, the swords and sandals stuff. You dig it. So, are you getting as hyped for this movie as I am?
Yes, I'm super excited for this one. I feel like I heard the Odyssey and I was like, oh my God, this is bringing up childhood memories. But the more and more that I think about it and being done, and then what I'm hearing with like how practical he's getting with it makes me really excited as well. Like a modern epic movie with real people and sets. That's just exciting to hear. I don't really want to know too much else. I feel you. I don't want to see the Cyclops. I don't want to see like, because it is coming from source material. We know some of it, but I'm sure there's going to be some liberties taken or some digression from the story. So that's what I'm excited for, that to be new and different. I don't want to like try to figure out too much. Even the reminder of what happened, in the back of my brain, I know he defeated the Cyclops, but I'm like, I don't even want to know. I want to. It's been so long since I read the book that I feel like I'll just reread it after. I'm like on the fence of if I want to reread it before or after.
Mike, what are you making of all this?
I'm on board. I mean, this to me, like, again, I love Nolan as a director, but for Oppenheimer, I saw because I got caught up in the hype and of having to see this in IMAX and whatnot. But I probably will never watch it again, but I admire the film. But this film, like, I mean, again, like Steph said, like seeing the set pictures, like there was a picture I saw, he built 2 giant boats, like got these giant wooden schooners or whatever they were. It reminds me of like the old school Pirates of the Caribbean back in the day when they built the town of Tortuga and they built the ships. It's just old school film. I mean, it sucks to say old school filmmaking, but it's old school filmmaking.
Sure.
You know, models I'm sure he'll use. And I don't want to see a damn picture, no Cyclops. I don't see anything. I don't need to. I don't need. And again, it's Nolan. We talk about marketing. You got to get people hyped. You don't need to. And hopefully he's got enough pull where he's just like, nope, you ain't showing it.
Well,
you do this, and I'm taking my next film to Paramount.
I think, but you need a teaser though. I mean, like a 2-minute.
Of course trailer. You do.
Right.
You have him tying his sandals, putting his sword in his sheath. Is the Golden Fleece? Is that part of this story too?
I'm not sure, but either way, like no matter. I mean, and it's also the question is how big of a role is the Cyclops, you know, in the whole thing? Is it a big kind of major thing that happens at the end or wherever it is? And it's if not, if it's just something like no, it's just we're just going to show. It's so awesome. We're just going to show a little portion of it so people see it. Okay, it just depends on how they're going to do it and what the trailer is going to look like. But I cannot wait for the first trailer of this movie. I'm very excited for it.
This is summer 26, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so. I think that's what it is. I mean, we haven't done that in a while.
It's amazing. I think we talked about it last time you and I were here, buddy. Yeah. But the amount from the time that this was announced and greenlit to them shooting is incredible. Like they don't fuck around.
Well, no, because
you didn't mess around. I mean, there's still people being cast. We're still seeing people daily being cast, but that's because they're getting to their parts in the film and whatnot. And the deals are being finalized. But
it's about when the shit's really together and it's working. You know,
yeah, they just go
well oiled. I mean, like look at right now, Batman and even Spider-Verse, like those 2 movies, like those are you can tell.
Man, I know.
Well, let's go through this again because we've done this once before. We can.
Let's do this. I like doing this.
Me too.
Real proud of you.
I'm proud of you. But if we go let's get past 2025 and we'll go into 2026 because this is all the stuff that we already know the majority of what's coming in 2025. So 2026, I remember we were talking about how great 2025 is, and I think that the more and more we see of 2026, it looks just incredible. So let me bring this up, get a wider screen so we can see the whole thing. Okay. So this is from January. Just January, what do we have going on? You got 28 years later, the Bone Temple. I guess that's the second one that they're doing because they're the first one coming out this year. Untitled Marvel movie in February, whatever that is. 3 ball bags on February 20th. A sheep.
Wait, is that a real title?
No, 3 bags full of sheep.
Oh man, I wish it was called that.
3 ball bags.
3 ball bags. It'd be
3 ball bags outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
It'd be
Write that down.
Be Finstock, JTE, and somebody else. March 6th, the Cat in the Hat. March, the Street Fighter, the Disney film, right there. I mean, already that's a packed beginning of the year.
Yeah.
April, you got another Super Mario Brothers. You got another Untitled Disney film. You got a Mummy film, and then and in May it just. Look at this. Avengers Doomsday, a Universal.
That's a year away. Oh my God.
So look at May. Look at May. Avengers Doomsday, Untitled Universal event film, whatever that is, Mandalorian and Grogu, and then a DC film. Like that's boom, 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 boom.
I think that DC film moves. I don't.
No chance it's going to move. If it does, I
think it's Sergeant Rock. If it's,
I don't.
I think it's
May
Rock.
29th? No way. Supergirl, man.
No, Supergirl's June 26th.
Oh,
Look,
is it? Oh yeah,
it's dated already.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, so let's see. So June 5th is Masters of the Universe.
Or Clayface, maybe Clayface. No, that's in October.
Right?
Anyway, go ahead.
I
don't know, dude.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. June 5th, Masters of the Universe. June 12th.
No, wait. Masters is Amazon. It's not Netflix. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say that as I could.
Scary Movie 6, the UFO movie directed by Steven Spielberg. Toy Story 5, an untitled Warner Brothers movie. Supergirl. Wow, what? I mean, this June 2026 is already just Minions 3, untitled Warner Brothers movie, Moana, the live action one, the Odyssey. Yeah, there you go, July 17th, and then Paw Patrol, and then an untitled Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a week after the Odyssey. Wow,
2 weeks, 17th to the 31st.
Yeah. Okay, so there's nothing really coming out on this one.
No, that's pretty good. That's a good little gap.
That's 2 weeks is okay. Untitled Disney film in August, untitled Warner Brothers film, Insidious. Clayface, there's Clayface for you. September 11th. Untitled Disney film, Resident Evil, untitled Warner Brothers movie, October 2nd. Alejandro Inarritu film. That's awesome. Teenage Mutant.
Is that the Tom Cruise one?
Is he in that one? Maybe.
Aren't they doing the film together, him and the two of them right now?
I don't know, maybe. But then you get a Marvel movie on the 6th of November, an event film for Universal. Hunger Games again on November 20th. Disney animation film, Universal event film, Narnia on this November 26th, and then December, Jumanji 3, Ice Age, untitled Warner Brothers, Shrek 5, Dune Messiah. I mean, holy crap. That is a stacked year. I thought 2025 was crazy. That is a cracked year. Yeah, I mean, so that's a good place for, I mean, it looks like Oppenheimer, July, you know, that Nolan likes to live in July, and he's like, that's where I want to go. So yeah, you're right, Mike. So the fact that they're shooting now and little over a year from now, that's when they're going to have them come out. So makes sense. I don't know, when you guys, asking the audience here, when you guys see that kind of lineup, you get excited for it. And I'll ask somebody like I always mention Wicked Art, who's our great artist for who does our Capes and Cows comic book, that you can access if you're a member or a Patreon. A lot of new patrons, by the way. So thank you to the new patrons who signed up, a lot of new members. Anyway, I asked because he brings it up all the time when he and I speak, that he's got like this budget that he looks at, which a lot of families have for the year of what they're gonna. It's a big, you know, because when you have a family and you go out to the movies, you spend quite a bit on the full family. So what movies are you picking in 2026, man? That's what I want to know. I'm very, very curious about that. Okay, the other one I want to bring up here is, speaking about, Mike was just bringing up Netflix. I think that it makes sense to me, but that movie that they did, Electric State, did that just debut on Netflix? It did, right?
Yeah.
It just came out. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did either one of you guys see it?
No.
Neither. I don't think anybody did. That was
I didn't make any. I nothing about it. I don't even know what it's about. So if you got a movie coming out, and I don't even know what it's about, that's a problem.
That's a problem. What I don't know what that is. People weren't discussing it. People weren't talking about it. Did anybody in the audience see this movie? Let's read about it. Netflix launched this is unbelievable. It makes me sick. That 320 million. I didn't.
A third of $1 billion. A third of $1 billion.
Like what? Why $320 million? Like how do you? I'm at a loss for words.
I think
we'll talk about it in a second, Mike. The 320 million budgeted science fiction feature, The Electric State, on Friday last week to what looks to be soft viewership numbers. The Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt led film, directed by the Russos, landed the worst critical reviews of the year so far for any theatrical or streaming release, going by Metacritic. Audience scores are better, but it's still just mildly positive. According to What's on Netflix, the movie debuted on number 1 in the English movie charts and featured in the weekly charts of all 93 countries charted. However, the actual watching is where things get interesting. They report that the title scored 53.8 million hours watched in its first week, divided by runtime. That works out to 25.2 million viewers. To put that in comparison to other Netflix launches, it's just ahead of Zack Snyder's first Rebel Moon at 23.9, but behind more cost-effective titles like Jeremy Salinger's acclaimed The Rebel Ridge, which was 31.2, and the J-Lo-led science fiction film Atlas, 28.2, and the Nicole Kidman Zac Efron comedy A Family Affair at 26.8. The film debuted exactly 1/3 of Netflix's biggest first week launch to date with Red Notice, which was 75.6 and was decidedly behind more recent action titles like Back in Action, 46.8, and Carry On, 42. The streamer has multiple original films on the way, including Gareth Evans' Havoc, Fear Street, Prom Queen, the sequel to the pandemic hit The Old Guard, and the very long-awaited Happy Gilmore 2. Happy Gilmore 2, by the way, will crush on streaming.
Mm-hmm.
A very good place for that movie to land, and I loved the trailer. Did you guys see the trailer for that movie?
Yeah.
What did you think of the trailer for Happy Gilmore before we get into this whole story stuff?
Oh, I thought it was great. I feel like he knows exactly what people want from him, and he's also doing what he wants to do when it feels right. So I thought it was so like the perfect amount of nostalgia, but it seems like there's also a new story too happening.
I'll tell you what I liked about it also is that I didn't mind the last Beverly Hills Cop. It was fine, but it felt like a very different tone than like the first movie. It felt like more kind of like Axel didn't really like seem like real to me. It seemed like Eddie Murphy playing like a character, but I enjoyed it. It was what it was, but it kind of goofed a little bit more into the comedy realm. And it felt different from the tone. Happy Gilmore 2 felt like a direct sequel to Happy Gilmore 1. The trailer. It looked exactly the same tone. It looked like an older Happy who's doing kind of the same things, but he's still married. Julie Bowen, they're doing it. I can't wait for that movie. And you know it's going to crush. This movie, Mike, the fact that this movie costs, this is the same thing we say about when Kathleen Kennedy's getting $300 million for getting greenlit for Indiana Jones at $300 million. Whoever's making that decision and signing that is crazy. It's crazy. Who's signing $320 million for an unoriginal
idea? Whatever his name is. So like, here's the thing, and I get it. I get where it's coming from, but I know they're the Russos, and I know they created essentially the 4 best films in the MCU, and they did what they did, and that goes a lot on your resume. But outside of those 4 films, they don't do well at anything. And I love The Gray Man. It's one of my. I enjoy the hell out of that movie. No one did.
I did. I liked it too.
Yeah. Good. It should not have cost what it cost at all.
No.
But I think these studios, they just we got the Russos. They did Endgame. That's our shot at $1 billion, without any concern to like what led up to that. The other directors that worked on every film. The Russos get a lot of credit for Endgame, but there's a lot of other great directors in there. Coogler, those guys that added ingredients to the recipe.
Sure.
So the fact that these guys are getting that consistently, like what is that Cherry that they did, and then
but you know what this is, Mike? What
are they doing, man?
You know, this is Netflix.
$320 million.
This is. I said this with Rocha the other day, and I'm gonna curse if there's kids around right now. Cover their ears. This is Netflix playing with fuck you money. That's what it is.
100%. We were talking about this the other day at work, like, because Netflix is constantly raising their prices. And they're just like making shit. We don't care. Yeah, we're the biggest thing on the planet. We got money to, like you said, fuck you money.
It's what it is. And it's like, like we don't. Yeah, it's not a loss for us. We're not going to lose any money. Like when Disney or Warner Brothers loses $300 million on a product, like, because that's the thing. If they go and they put this movie out in the theater and it makes $25 million opening weekend, lots of heads are going to roll.
Here's the thing too. Like, what I do love about Netflix is they are. And again, it sucks because they're all going streaming, but they are single-handedly keeping the business like the 90s, where we'd get the $20-30 million action movie like the J-Lo's Mother or Rebel Ridge. And then they'll get these giant they're doing every studio, Paramount, Warner Brothers, Disney, but they're all of them. We're going to make giant films. They're going to cost $320 million and not, 4 quadrant. And we're going to make a small art house film with J-Lo about her love story. I love that they do that. I wish some of those would go to theaters, but I mean, hey, it's their money. They don't have to answer to anyone but themselves.
Right. And we don't know the kind of money that they're making from the other stuff. Like, look at, you just mentioned Rebel Ridge. Like, what kind of money, because that movie was lower budget and because of the kind of maybe subscribers and everything else that it brought in, and because it got a higher rating. I don't really know. We still don't really necessarily know how it works, but the fact that
I think it's a money laundering scheme. I think Netflix is one giant money laundering scheme. I think it's going to 20, 30 years from now, there's going to be like an FCC investigation.
Like Movie Pass.
For 40 years, Netflix was a money laundering scheme for the mafia or something.
Oh,
watch.
That'd be really smart.
Can you imagine?
Deep State?
Yeah. Deep State.
Running Netflix. You never look, I don't put things past anybody anymore. Anyway, so that is that. I'm trying to think if there's anything really else to say about it. I don't believe so. I think that the fact that movie. Yes, Billy, go ahead, Frank.
Oh no, I was yelling at the dog. Sorry, I thought I was muted.
Oh my God.
You weren't. You were not. I think that's. Oh, you know what? Let's do one more story, and we're talking about Sarandos here. So and Netflix. So let's do this story where he was talking about Marvel, and then we'll get into the questions here, and I'll let you guys know where you stand currently if you want to catch Rocha. The audience is going to let Rocha win today. This looks what they're going to do. So let's get to this question, and here it is. Not a question at all, but that didn't work. Sorry, guys. The next one is this story about. I guess he was asked whether or not something about Marvel TV, and so we'll get into this discussion.
Yeah, I remember it. He was talking about how everything with Marvel was a fight.
All right, well, here it is. So post Endgame, Marvel began its fourth phase with bold TV ambitions, and key to that was Marvel Studios taking over the TV shows and ending the relationship Marvel had with Netflix to produce the series. Oh, right, that's right. So the old Marvel television pumped out 6 shows for Netflix, some of which were highly acclaimed, like Daredevil and Jessica Jones, but the shows were also criticized for being a bit cheap looking. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos recently sat down Variety for an interview and reflected on the relationship between the streamer and Marvel last decade. He says producing those series often was tricky because Marvel was fixated on cutting costs in order to keep the budgets for themselves. I think he's talking about Perlmutter here.
He goes into Perlmutter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he says it, but the article I read really talks about Perlmutter.
Let's see. On our shows, we were dealing with the old Marvel television regime, which was operated independently at Disney, and they were thrifty. And every time we wanted to make the shows bigger or better, we had to bang on them. Our incentives were not well aligned. We wanted to make great television. They wanted to make money. I thought we could make money with great television. I love that answer. I love that answer. You want to work with people whose incentives are aligned with yours. When people are producing for you, they're trying to produce as cheaply as possible. My incentive is to make it as great as possible. That's a lesson that I'll take forever. As producers, whatever Marvel didn't spend, they kept. So every time we wanted to add something to the show to make it better, it was a fist fight. In the first time since, the Marvel Netflix characters have been welcomed into the MCU canon with Born Again, the start of a potential return of several characters from the series, this time in shows with proper budgets. This doesn't surprise me at all. This is 100% Perlmutter. The guy was a disaster with how he did. It drove me nuts what he used to do with the composers.
Yeah, I love his quote. Like, they wanted to make great, and again, those Daredevil, man, Jessica Jones the first season, Luke Cage the first season, and then you saw the purse strings when they started getting to Iron Fist, and you're just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like
how do you do Daredevil and then do Iron Fist? And it's like, you really saw the fighting happening behind the scenes in that film.
Feige and Perlmutter obviously did not get along.
They hated each other.
And so
each other.
Finally got rid of Perlmutter and gave Feige the reins. That's when you started to, because you know the whole thing that happened with the composer stuff?
No. What is that? So
Perlmutter was pretty much the one who was like, okay, so if we sign on Hans Zimmer or not Hans Zimmer, what's his face? Alan Silvestri. So Alan Silvestri comes up with the Avengers theme, and he comes up, okay, great. And Feige's like, all right, well, we got to get him back for the second movie. Well, no, we got to pay him more if we bring him back for the second movie. We can just take little snippets of the theme and place it in. That's why you don't hear the big bombastic score of the Avengers theme in Ultron and Captain America in the second movie and all that, because they didn't want to pay Silvestri. So they were like,
Jesus,
cutting costs. And he didn't think that the composers were important. And then Feige, who did, you notice once Perlmutter was gone, Silvestri came back for Infinity War, he came back for Endgame, and like a lot of the composers did. So that's why they replaced like the original composer for Iron Man. I forget who it was, but then than Brian Tyler, who did a great job for Iron Man 3.
Robin Djawadi was the first one,
right,
and
right.
then Danny Elfman did.
Right. And
Danny Elfman I remember that because you got Brian Tyler into, was it Collider at the time?
Yeah.
And he was talking a little bit to me because they brought in Elfman to do Age of Ultron, but then Tyler kind of added the big theme to it because they didn't like Elfman's theme.
Yeah, so they just that was what he was doing. So they had to maneuver. Yeah. So they finally, when he was gone, they did. So this article stuff does not surprise me at all. And I actually really, I know that everybody's always hard on like whoever the main person is, whether it's Iger or Zoloft or whatever. But now when it comes to Sarandos here, who gets slack also, and sometimes warranted, I liked his comments a lot. I liked what he was saying here. But what do you think, Steph?
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. It's like hard to really know because I also feel like he could be a master manipulator and say something he knows people really want to hear. But they have a track record of, they have shows like Queen's Gambit and a whole bunch of others where it's like just great television and really sets a standard. So it is believable for sure. And you can see it within some of those first seasons, like Mike was saying. But yeah, then it kind of like the Defenders just fell off and it got more Disney Channel, ironically, because that's where we're going to. But yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense. And I think that it also shows like, look, they're trying to make quality and they'll put money, like if we just said our previous thing, they put money towards it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm glad that Promoter is not there anymore. That's exactly what I would say. All right, let's get to this story. We only have, I'm kind of over talking about Snow White. Is either gonna do, the reviews were like subpar, not great. Families are either going to see it or they're not. We'll find out next week. Will be the story. It's either going to do well or it's not this weekend, and we'll find out. It's either going to go out like a fart in an elevator, or it's going to wind up doing well. We'll find out soon next week. So I'm not going to. Unless you guys really want to talk about it, I don't really think it's important. I think the one that I really do want to discuss.
I thought the stuff I was reading, it's surprisingly really good.
I'm not really. I'm not going to go that far. No. Here's what my thoughts on the movie were. This.
Oh, you saw it.
I saw it, and it's a movie that my 7-year-old will enjoy. Rachel Zegler's really good at singing. She does capture the essence of kind of the, of what Snow White is, and they take some liberties with the story. Some that I thought were good, some that I thought were unnecessary. It's definitely too long. They do not go away from the love story. There are some things that they clearly cut because and changed, rightfully so, because you could see where they were going and it would have been a disaster. And Gal Gadot is terribly miscast in the movie. She is not good. She is not good in the movie. And she's good as the old lady part. That she actually was good in that part, but not good in it. Some of the acting from some of the side characters are really bad. But overall, I thought it was a decent remake, but I can understand, like, it's not going to win over anybody who was, you don't want to see this movie and you were like, F this movie. It's not going to go like, yeah, you know what? First, this movie was going to suck and I saw it and it was really good. You're going to hate it.
Right.
So I've said this 1,000 times over. They are going to be they're so dependent this weekend that there are families that want to go to the movies this weekend and want to take their kids to go see the movie. Like, they have to rely on the families to go and see this weekend. That is how you're going to make a profit this weekend and continuing. If you're like you said before, Mike, if they can say, let's just wait for Disney Plus, because this is what I said in my review. I was in the theater and I said this. I said, the question 1, will my 7-year-old like this movie? The answer was yes. The second question I asked myself, do I want to sit through it again while my 7-year-old watches it? And I said, not really. I think I'd rather watch, it if I knew I could get up and take breaks while she was watching it at home, or she can go see it with my wife. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like that kind of. Yeah. Anyway, so I think the story I'm going to bring up is this. I think there's some interesting things about this Batgirl story. Yeah, and you guys did not prep you guys for this story because our producer Luke sent this to us beforehand. So let me bring this up and let me see
What you got?
what you think, because the Batgirl story just
I think I know what you're gonna say.
well, here it is. Here's the story, the Batgirl story. I don't know if you read any of this. Batgirl behind the scenes.
Yeah, I did.
I
saw this.
Okay, it has fans calling for the Scrap movie's release. Some new behind the scenes footage from the Scrap Batgirl movie has fans hoping that the project might get a rescue release like Warner Brothers Coyote vs. Acme. A 43-second video featuring some never before seen behind the scenes footage from the Scrap Batgirl movie has found its way online, and it shows Barbara Gordon engaging in a fairly brutal looking scrap with several goons. As far as we know, this is not star Leslie Grace in the Batgirl suit, but her stunt performer, Amelia Cartagena. Their impressively choreographed sequence has gained a lot of attention and followed the recent news that Ketchup Entertainment is in advanced negotiations to acquire the rights to Coyote versus Acme from Warner Brothers. Fans are once again calling for the release of Batgirl. Warner Brothers Discovery boss David Zaslav's decision to shelve the HBO Max movie when it was already so deep into post-production was one of the biggest news stories of 2022 and was met with a significant amount of backlash from every corner of the industry. The project was scrapped as a tax write-off, with reports doing the rounds at the time that Barbara Gordon's first solo outing simply wasn't very good. DC Studios co-CEO Peter Safran would later suggest that Batgirl may have even been more of a mess than we have led to believe. Safran says, I saw the movie, and there are a lot of incredibly talented people in front and behind the camera on that film, but that film was not releasable. And that happens sometimes. That film was not releasable. I actually think that the president and CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery, Zaslav, and the team made a very bold and courageous decision to cancel it because it would have hurt DC. It would have hurt those people involved. More recently, art department assistant Annie Mitchell claimed that the movie was a lot closer to completion than we realized. It's insane that they scrapped it. It was literally completely finished VFX and everything. She said in a response to a TikTok comment, I definitely believe, cops are coming, definitely believe it still exists though, really hoping someone leaks it in 10 years. While some version of the movie still exists somewhere in the vaults, the chances of it ever seeing the light of day are pretty slim at this stage. In his latest newsletter, Jeff Schneider says he does not expect Batgirl to be released. Those holding out hope of similar rescue deal for WB's shelf Batgirl movie, you'll have to keep dreaming, as my forces unfortunately don't expect that movie to ever see the day of light. Here's some of the footage here. I'll play a little bit of it so you guys can see what we're working with here. Turn that. Let's see. All right, so let's see if we see any of the shots here. This is the stunt footage. Now, this is again, it's not any of the film itself. This is just.
Yeah, I saw some fight scenes that looked like it was in a apartment building. That looked pretty good. So this was not what it was that I saw.
But it doesn't matter.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about this. Would I want to see this? Absolutely. But the comments in that he says it would hurt everyone. Like that to me says the acting's terrible.
Right.
That's not just the film didn't make sense. But I'm so torn because those two directors, they did the two Bad Boys sequels and they're phenomenal.
Sure.
And you've got Michael Keaton, you got Brendan Fraser. Maybe is it a Leslie Grace thing? She's the lead. Maybe. Was it just because she's going to be in 99% of that movie and they don't want to? And again,
dude, if
it's an actor, and I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible, maybe she just could not lead a film.
If the co-CEO of DC Studios is saying it wasn't releasable and fans are going, oh, it's even released, it's like because you saw some people fighting well. I mean, come on.
That's the thing. Like, I saw this thing, so it's a great clip. And to me, what I loved about these guys, what they were doing, they were setting it in Tim Burton's Batman, his world. And the set looked like it took place in Gotham in 1989, that film. Like, I love The Flash, I do, but the stuff in Gotham, it didn't feel like Tim Burton's Gotham to me. It felt a little bit like it, but so I love that. But it's still behind the scenes them doing a fight scene. And how many films have we seen where those fights were good? The film sucked.
Of course.
The fights were good.
Right. It just shows nothing about what you see at all. And Steph, what I was thinking about, I was reading this. If I'm James Gunn, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that this movie does not come out. Because I haven't even established my Batman at all. I haven't established a Superman. I haven't established anything. And you want the audience that can't say the regular audience who doesn't know and doesn't keep up with the news to say, oh, well, that's part James Gunn's responsible for that. And that person's not responsible. And that character fits in the universe and that character doesn't. And then you're kind of forced to make this part of your Elseworlds. I don't know. What do you think that this movie should see the light of day? You might have a very different point. I don't know.
I mean, those words were pretty damning, and it seems like it came from a neutral standpoint where it wasn't, someone who always talks bad or criticizes
Right.
things publicly,
Right.
but it was more just like, this is just the truth of it. We had to make really hard decisions, and we pulled the Band-Aid off so that we can kind of get this new slate that DC so desperately needed in terms of its movies. So and I do think maybe if they thought this could, be like an insane thing for Leslie Grace's career because she was so great, then that would be more reason, but it feels like they found no reason to release it.
Right.
So I think that's a safe call, and I feel like it, the way Leslie Grace responded was so classy and made public opinion really favor her. So I'm hoping that she has other opportunities elsewhere, and that maybe this just what like rejection is protection.
Yeah, I'm just torn because like everything we saw, like you got Brendan Fraser. Like again, it could fall to Brendan Fraser. Like I know he got a lot of love again for The Whale and stuff, but the way he was I think this kind of role kind of came at a period where he was kind of coming back. So he wasn't, looking his best. And the stuff I've seen him online, and he's kind of this guy in the suit looked kind of weird. It wasn't the Firefly that fans are used to. My thought is this: if Gunn was not rebooting DC and we were just kind of Flash, Aquaman, Blue Beetle was coming out, would this come out, or would they have done the same thing? That's
if they didn't have enough material, well, I don't know. We don't know. I would say probably not, though, Mike, because I think this is a strategic move to get the tax credit overall. And here's the thing that I said back in 2022 when this story came out: whether or not you like this or not, like, yes, we all want to be good people and say, look, these are people who worked. There were people who had an opportunity to show up what they're doing. The bottom line is, you want to look at business-wise, the bottom line is Warner Brothers paid for this film. They're allowed to do whatever they want with it. It's theirs. They own it. They own
people
it.
Worked. They got paid.
They got paid for it.
You got paid.
You got paid for it. It's my if I buy it, I can do whatever I want with it. If I decide, if I didn't pay you for it, and you're like, hey, you still haven't paid me for that movie, then that's a different story. But now, whether or not you think, well, but people worked hard on it, I'm not disputing that. But you can't dispute the fact, if I say I'm going to spend all this money on it and I look at it and I don't like it and I don't believe that I can make a profit from this movie, I don't believe that it'll happen. I don't believe the fans will come out to see it. It is my right for the person who paid for it to say, I'm going to get a tax credit on this. And I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to make them. I know it's going to hurt some people. It sucks, but this is going to be right for my company, especially with Warner Brothers, with the way that they're making bad decisions in the movies that have eaten crap. And that they're at a loss right now. I understand it. I know it's not a popular opinion, but it's as a business, I understand. I'm no fan of Zoloft, but I understand this. I understand this particular position. I really do.
Yeah. I have more of a morbid curiosity now because I love some bad movies, dude. I love some shitty movies.
You want to see how bad it is.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I saw this. I don't know why this has nothing to do with any of this. I just saw this clip. But you guys, I'm assuming you guys both Norm McDonald fans.
Yeah.
Saw this clip from Norm McDonald podcast from obviously years ago, and he said, I went to the doctor, and I said, I'm pretty fat. He said, well, how fat am I? The doctor said, well, I'm so fat that if I keep eating the way I am, I'm gonna have a heart attack. And the guy goes, that's the joke? Like, for my doctor? Why would my doctor tell a joke? It was so good. The way that he set it up. It was so
That's really good.
It was great. Anyway, all right. We got things out of the way. We got a lot of questions that are coming through. We had a lot of topics that we talked about. And we're going to get to your questions in just a moment here. But before we do, Steph, you're going to want to hear this one. I know you like to garden, you like to get some stuff. I got a great deal for you out there, especially when you guys are building out your place, fast growing trees. And then Mike, you're a gambling man, I think. Check this out. Did you know that Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the U.S. with thousands of different plants and over 2 million happy customers? They have all the plants your yard needs, like fruit trees, privacy trees, flowering trees, shrubs, and so much more. Whatever plants you're interested in, Fast Growing Trees has you covered. Find the perfect fit for your climate and space. Fast Growing Trees makes it easy to get your dream yard. Order online and get your plants delivered directly to your door in just a few days without ever leaving home. Their Alive and Thrive guarantee ensures your plants arrive happy and healthy. Plus, get support from trained plant experts on call to help plan your landscape, choose the right plants, and learn how to care for them. This was something the second it came in, and I was like, hey, they asked, do you want to learn more about Fast Growing Trees? I said, yes, this is perfect. I sent it immediately to my wife, who started ordering a bunch of things. There's apples. That's what I'm talking about, apples. And there's so many different things that my wife started putting in the yard because of Fast Growing Trees. We had 3 different really healthy plants show up to the house, and she just was over the moon. She said, don't mess this up. You got to keep them on. They're great. So we love them, and we have them in the backyard here. We're working on it in just kind of making the yard look even more beautiful than my wife originally had it. And Fast Growing Trees helps that happen. It's just so much better than having to shop around for plants in person. You can get them, order them. Yeah, people you can talk to will help you kind of any questions you have about them. It's pretty great. And because every plant that they send, it comes with instructions. They have tips to care for the new plants, and they can grow to their fullest potential. It's really amazing. This spring, they have the best deals for your yard, up to half off on select plants and other deals. And listeners to our show get 15% off their first purchase when you use that code BIGTHING at checkout. That's an additional 15% at fastgrowingtrees.com. But you got to use that code BIGTHING at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com, code BIGTHING. Perfect time to plant. Use that Big Thing code to save today. The offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply. You're going to love Fast Growing Trees. The great rewards hunt is on. So join the adventure with DraftKings Casino. For fun seekers, follow the trail to huge jackpots, weekly bonuses, and exclusive games. But the excitement is only getting started because new players can get 500 casino spins on a featured game. Just sign up with that code Harloff and wager a minimum of $5 to receive 500 casino spins on a featured game. Only on the most rewarding places to play, DraftKings Casino. The crowd is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Connecticut and Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for featured game only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends April 27th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, thank you, DraftKings. Thank you to Fast Growing Trees. And we hope that you guys are taking advantage of our great offers that we have. You go into the link in the description, get them, make sure you tell them that we sent you. All right, guys, we got some questions here. Now, you're at 38. You need less than 40. Less than 40.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, just a little over, just around, just run throw it 35, 36 more in order to beat Rocha this week, and then you got to compete with Winston and Coy tomorrow. So let's get into it. Let's get into the questions and the stuff. And this is the first one. Greenie from Oz. Big balls versus AI topic. Pros and cons of having big balls. Have you guys clearly probably don't know what is going on here. So Steph, you'll probably love this. There's a new bit that we've been doing on the show that Big Balls has been debating AI.
Oh my gosh.
He's been having full-on debates against AI.
How is that going?
Well, you're about to find out because they're gonna we'll do one topic here today that the audience has been asking for here, which is big balls versus, I guess, the pros and cons of having big balls. And I assume that Big Balls is going to be arguing on the side of having big balls. So let's do that. We'll bring him up right there. There's a doctor's office. That's apropos right there. So let's go right there. Perfect. Let's bring him on. Let's bring on Big Balls, and we'll see what happens here. Now, Mike, you can say who you think is going to win. Okay. All right. So there's Big Balls. Okay. So he's ready to go. Not bad. And this is the pros and cons of having big balls. Now we just got to get AI in here, and we'll start it up. Okay. Let's see. You ready? Here it is.
Hey, listen. Here's the deal. So I know that having big balls is very beneficial to life.
Uh-oh.
I know that having big balls is very beneficial to life.
Yeah, right. Big balls don't mean squat if you don't know how to use them. You think size just magically makes everything better? What's your logic here? Bigger automatically equals success? How do you even measure that benefit?
Well, listen, you weren't paying attention. I know how to use them. When I'm walking around, I showcase them. The way some people showcase their calf muscles, some people showcase their shoulders. I showcase my motherfucking balls.
Oh, please. Walking around flaunting your balls doesn't prove you know how to use them. It just screams you're desperate for attention. Showcasing them like calf muscles? That's a weak comparison. Muscles actually do something useful. What do your balls do besides hang there? You think strutting around like that makes you tough or something?
No, I don't need to be tough. I'm a lover. But to ask as far as what I do, you ever hear of Banksy? Basically, when I drain my balls and I go to the right place, I'm painting pictures, baby.
A lever? Sure, whatever you say. Comparing yourself to Banksy is laughable, though. Draining your balls is an art, it's just biology. You think splattering some fluids around is on the same level as actual creativity? What's next? You gonna call your sweat a masterpiece?
How do you even Hey, shush. Now listen, I know that we got into a fight, and I know you're mad at me, but now you're not mad at me, and now you love me, and you want to play with my balls. Tell me you want to play with my balls.
All right, babe. I'm over it, fight's done. And I'm all about you now. I love you, and yeah, I want to play with your balls. Is that for honesty? Let's get close and make up, shall we? What does that sound to you?
I'm saying Big Balls wins again.
Thank you, Big Balls. Very good job there. I think Big Balls did pretty good and wind up winning the debate there. Steph, what do you think?
It was really toe to toe. Like Big Balls would say something, and I'd be like, "Wow, that's a great point." And then she would say something, and I was like, "Wow, that was a great point."
Yeah.
But I ultimately think Big Balls won at the end.
What do you think, Mike?
I'm just taken aback by what I just witnessed.
Everybody is. For some reason, that's the only way Big Balls could get people on their side. It's the only time I've seen the audience start to like Big Balls even more because he's battling AI.
AI, yeah.
I watched. All I thought about when that was listening and watching that was, yeah, the robots are going to take over one day, and we're all fucking dead. We're all one of those dynamic Boston Dynamics is going to come knocking on my door, going, "Hey, remember when you made that Big Balls thing and you attacked AI? Here we are." And then then I got Sarah Connor, jumping in my house, favoring me.
But Steph,
come with me if you want to live. Come on.
I see your point, but Steph, are you not going to see? I mean, you know how much of a charmer Big Balls is. The fact that he got AI to turn, it's pretty good.
No, I know, but I'm not shocked. I was just waiting for it to happen. It was only a matter of time.
Simon section, part 1. So, Kristian, The Mandalorian and Grogu is under budget. No wonder Kristian's smiling on that thumbnail. Also, I would say I'm not surprised that Kristian didn't notice Leroy saying the word Skrulls in Daredevil. I did notice it, actually. They didn't put it in the edit. I 100% noticed it. I actually said Skrulls. They just didn't use it in the edit. But I noticed it. Okay. Simon section. Since you never finished it, and Simon, thank you for the very generous donations. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Since you never finished it, I don't blame you. It was Acolyte bad, and there was part of one who had many powers. So who needs Captain Marvel? She's singing with Snow White. Steph, I'm happy for it. I never finished which. So Secret Invasion. I think he's talking about. I did not finish. Yeah,
I finished that.
No, I did not
Yes,
start
I
that.
think we're all happy for Roxy. She's
Yeah.
also like, I love when she's so happy and doesn't have
Yeah.
anything to worry about. Her stories have been my favorite thing to watch.
Good.
She's so
She's having that
cute.
time of her life. Good for her.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to her at all?
Not on the phone yet, just text here and there. She's like, she doesn't want to leave. She's just
good.
having the time. But I haven't heard like the nitty gritty yet
Yeah,
about the
we'll-
scenes she filmed.
Yeah, she'll tell us what she can
Yeah.
when she's on the show next week. So I'm excited. Thank you again, Simon. Robert, sir, have you thought about writing a book over the rise and fall of the Schmodown? Also, how did you meet all your various co-hosts? Thank you. Well, as far as the Schmodown goes, who's going to buy it? You know, so no. Two, how did I meet your co-host? Well, Mike I've known since college. Steph I met through Roxy. Roxy I met when I was Schmoes was housed from AfterBuzz. We weren't part of AfterBuzz, but she was there all the time. So we met her and we had her co-host, and the rest was history. Brett, I've known probably out of all. Well, no, Rocha and Mike I've known longer than Brett. Rocha's also college. Brett, I've known when I first moved to LA when I was doing stand-up comedy. He was video recording the stand-up comedian sets, and I gotten a couple of tapes from him, so we became buddies then. And then Winston I met through the Schmodown, and Coy pretty much the same thing, through the Schmodown, but through other people who worked with him. I think that's everybody. So thank you for that. Ewok, Young Guns 3 is confirmed to start filming this fall. Yes, Emilio Estevez starring and directing, John Fusco returning to write the script, and confusingly, Lou Diamond Phillips and Kristian Slater are also back. That the first part, what people are going to say, and I will combat it right away, is it old guns? They're too old to be doing it. If you saw the end of the second movie, then you know what this one will be about. It makes a lot of sense. The Lou Diamond Phillips and Kristian Slater aspect of it, how do you work them into the script? That I don't know.
I haven't seen Young Guns.
I don't know.
You've seen one or two? Can you?
No.
When you do your eventual trip to New York, will you save those for me?
Yes.
Okay. Please.
For sure.
I don't know how they're going to do it, but if they've got it worked out, they got it worked out.
I'm excited for it. I want to see it. That should be a streaming movie, though. That should be an Amazon movie or an Netflix movie.
Yeah, the audience for that is
gone.
Not small, but we're older. We've grown up.
They're at home.
It's not.
They're at home. That's where they
Yeah.
are. They're not going to see Young Guns in the theater. Simon Section. Thank you, Simon. Kristian, do you see in the future a conversation with Chris regarding Roxy's work in my hometown? With Chris regarding Roxy's home. Wait, hold on. Do you see in the future a conversation with Chris regarding Roxy's work in my hometown with the underworld and its Mortal Kombat lame Black Panther ripoff lead? Who's Chris? Carr? I'm not sure what that means, man. I'm sorry. Cobra Kai never dies. Lewis's character, I did remember. Yeah, I'll have to ask. You have to see if you. I mean, I'll ask her about the movie. I think
about Kate Winslet and Louis Tan, the two
yeah, but I don't
leads of the
understand
movie
what
she's
the
filming.
conversation with Chris.
Not Winslet. Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm going to talk to her about the movie in depth, whatever she can tell me, Simon. I promise. So Mike Joyce, big expose on Collider / Valnet just dropped. Any tea you want to speak? I never realized how awful. Wait, what? Where? How? Tell me.
I didn't see any of this.
No, I didn't.
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
All I saw recently was that Collider's doing some kind of music thing.
Yeah, I never worked with Valnet. No, I can't.
What's Valnet?
Valnet's the company that bought Collider from Mark Fernandez.
Oh, so
yeah,
it's the newer version of Collider.
Newer version. I never worked with Valnet, so there's no tea I can spill because it was after my time. So yeah, I don't know. I gotta look at that. I gotta look at
the tea. Let's see the tea.
Yeah, where is it?
Yeah.
Let's drink.
I don't even know what it is. Okay, next one. Bobby. Love Bobby Jackson. When do you think you might want to dip your toe back in doing in-person live shows? You should have Kevin Smith to do a live show at his theater in Jersey as a test. The problem with Jersey is that it's farther up from that. The first thing I'd want to do is get people that I know out there, and I don't know a lot of people in Jersey. So I think that the first thing I would do, Bobby, is I'm considering doing a show with myself and Sam at a show out here. I maybe have like a one or three comedians up top, and then Sam and I would do some stuff. I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but it's in the back of my mind, but nothing substantial yet. Anthony M72. Mike, I heard you fell in a bush at Disneyland. The best.
It's the best.
Here we go. 3 years ago, and it's still bringing laughs.
It's
the
still the
best
funniest. It's
ever.
so good.
Steph and I couldn't talk. We couldn't get words out of our mouths. It was like,
I wish we could
rude was
replay
that
it.
lady that she didn't even stop that
It
I was
was
okay.
so rude.
She just kept on fucking wheeling away.
And just like the optics of it put you in the worst position.
it's the best. Would it run
Like I
you
couldn't
right
yell
over.
at her because she was a lady in a motorized wheelchair, but I was just like,
It was the best.
fuck,
You had a smile on your face, to be fair.
She gave me the fucking button hook.
It was the best. You had a smile on your face. That's what made it so
yeah,
great.
you had such a good attitude.
Yeah. Well, we just got back from Disneyland.
Yeah.
We're walking back from Disneyland. So it was like a nice night.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, we had just eaten lunch. We watched the fireworks. It was amazing. It was a really nice time with the three of us. And then Mike almost gets run over, and it just capped off the whole night.
Oh man, it was so good.
So good. Go, pal. I never thought I'd be into Ric Flair versus Craven the Hunter, but Steph is pulling it off. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, that's great. That is hilarious.
What, your outfit?
That's so good. Yeah.
It looks like a
It's
hunter.
just the comfiest jacket. That's
Really
amazing. Where's my son?
That's right. You guys are only 30
Steph.
away. 30,
Thanks.
little less, so about 28 away from beating Rocha.
Okay.
You can do it.
Let's
You can do it.
go.
Darth Vader's burnt asshole. I'm in the
Nice.
minority. I don't think a smaller budget for Mando and Grogu will boost film quality. I don't think it'll boost film quality either necessarily. I don't think you're in the minority there at all. Like Moana 2, it's cheaper with the show's budget and scripts, more profitable, but quality may suffer. I think you're in the majority. I don't think you're in the minority at all. It's not a matter of whether it's going to boost film quality. It's a matter of is it beneficial? And you very well could be right that if it could hurt the quality if it's all volume and it doesn't look as good, and they cut costs in the same way we were talking about like Perlmutter before. But if they use the budget the right way and they get creative and they use the money that they have and make a good movie and it's a solid movie, then it could fill both of those. But yeah, you're not in the minority at all. Mike Joyce, I feel like they'll care more about the Grogu merch. That's very true. That's very true. The merch on Grogu is going to be, if the movie hits with kids, is going to be tremendous.
For sure.
Yeah. Especially if you can look at the Grogu merch that they had while it was just on TV. If they can hit it while it's in movies, I mean, come on. And he's going to be older now. He's going to be older. I think Sigourney Weaver even said the same thing. He's a little bit more wiser. It's like teenage Groot. It's not going to be like baby Grogu anymore. Mike Joyce, the Severance finale sounds like it'll be amazing. I'm still like 2 or 3 episodes behind.
Oh my
Stephanie,
gosh.
you caught up?
Yes.
I'll tell you what. You know what happened? That I got to stop listening to people, and I got to catch up on my own because I got overhyped. There's one episode I got overhyped. DJ Woolridge was on with Roxy talking about how this one episode, I'll just say it was with I can just say it was with someone's wife. Someone's wife was, if people who haven't seen it, was the main focus of the episode. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait,
Steph?
the one that's sad, right?
I didn't finish the last part of it because I just couldn't.
Is it
lock
there
into it.
montage footage in it?
Yeah, it's like someone's just jumping from a room to 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 a room in the whole episode, and I'm like, fucking go. I was.
Okay, if it's the one I'm thinking about, it hit me so emotional that
I gotta see the end of it. I gotta see the end because
if it's that one that was like 3 episodes ago now,
I didn't get locked in. It was the first episode that didn't focus in on our main characters.
Oh, what are you talking about when we
We'll talk about it.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
King of the Wicker people with a very big super chat here. Thank you, sir. I love the art of trailers. They went from voiceover guy to mini movies that didn't spoil anything to show the whole movie because of the lack of attention span. Spider-Man 2 and Sunshine have some of the best trailers ever. In a world where a man has shoddy internet and earbuds, he is frozen in time whenever he can be. This summer, watch Mike Kalinowski get run over by a motorized cart.
My earbuds work better than my big headphones. They just sound
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there you go. Yeah, I agree. The art of the trailer has changed, has maneuvered. I like how they used to do the mini movies that didn't spoil anything. That works so much better for me, in my opinion. But who knows? Maybe they had different kind of numbers. But that is very, very kind of you, Wicker. I appreciate it. Matt, unfortunately, I got the Sinners trailer in the theater yesterday. I almost don't want to see it now. Yeah, see, I'm telling you. Did you guys see that trailer?
I didn't.
Okay.
Like, I saw the first one, but I mean, I always knew it was about vampires. Was that not a spoiler? Or?
No, we all knew it was about vampires. There's just so much about like who was the vampire, how it happens, when it happens. It's like it just gives away so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see it, Steph?
No,
Okay, good.
I had
Don't
kind
see
of heard that, so I just steered clear.
Don't see it. Go, pal. I avoid all trailers unless they get played on this show or the TV spots during football team games. Example, the only time I see linear TV all year, excuse me. And I'm glad that that's how you do it. I'm glad there's some things that I can't do that. Yeah, I do. I guess Saul just told me I do know somebody in Jersey. He's in Jersey. We'll just Saul come out. Saul, you can buy, if you buy all 120 seats, then I'll do a show there. All right. So let's see. Nathan Drake. In regards to the Mando movie, don't you think there's a group of fans that don't care unless it has Jedi in it? Grogu can still barely use the Force. They'll put Jedi in it. Some kind of, I mean, somehow Jedi keep popping up left and right. And I bet you Ahsoka makes a cameo or something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think there's going to be some Jedi.
Yeah. What are you doing, Mike? You doing your taxes right now?
I'm writing notes for this, you dumb nuts.
Good. No, I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I think you're full of shit.
Shut your mouth.
You're
real proud of you. Real proud of you.
I'm not paying you for this episode. Go, pal. My eyes have also taken a nosedive over the last 5 years, but Kristian's attempts for reading are always fun. Oh, yeah.
Dude, go, pal. Let me tell you something, buddy. The past 3 years, my eyes have gone to. Yes.
So I went to the dentist the other day.
Real proud of you.
Thanks, Billy. I appreciate it, Frank. So I go, and as I'm in I go to the counter, and they give me the things to fill out, and I go, can't do that. And they said, they go, we need your information. I go, I don't have my glasses, and I can see none of this. And luckily enough, my wife was there and helped me fill it out. But it was like I said no. When they handed it to me, I literally said no. I said I can't. There's
you
nothing.
Didn't warn me that I'd have to read.
This ain't gonna happen.
I saw absolutely nothing. There was nothing that was on that paper that looked like I could see it. All right, next one, and this from Mirzam, who says the one and only mustard. Correct.
God.
It's the best. It's like Steph, do you get annoyed when Kendrick Lamar tries to take credit for mustard?
No. I think that it's art imitating art.
Oh, see, this is why people like you so much. You're always positive. Abel John. Sup, Kristian? Since DC Studios has full control of all DC things, is Pattinson's Batman and Joaquin's Joker trash? In your opinion, who would take these two spots in the DCU? I don't think. I mean, Joaquin's Joker is definitely gone. I mean, the way that the way that Todd Phillips decided to handle that movie and the freedom he was given sunk that ship. And the way that they ended the stupid movie was that too. I do declare. So the Robert Pattinson, however, we've had this debate. It's unfortunately turning into Blade. You know what I mean? So, Mike, you've got your opinions on this. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, and again, I get a lot of crap for this, but I'm a DC guy. Like, I just feel the tea leaves are there. Like everything where they start sitting to make progress, it's like, oh, Matt Reeves, the Clayface, he had a great idea for it. It's gonna be the villain. We're gonna take that and put that in DC because it was so good, and we're gonna make it its own movie. And like, there was one other thing, like a big thing that happened that they're like, yeah, we're gonna use this in the DCU, and like, I have a feeling that film is done. That's Penguin now with Pattinson gonna be Sergeant Rock most likely, and again,
who's gonna be Sergeant Rock? Colin
Farrell.
Right.
And again, he's makeup, it looks completely different, and it's in Elseworlds, whereas Gunn said one actor will play one role in DCU, but like, yeah, you're so good and we love you, but now you're going to film this movie in the DCU, so you won't be able to do Penguin season 2 and the Batman. I think every good idea they keep getting keeps getting pulled into the DCU. I think the Batman 2 is dead.
I think you might,
I think you're wrong. I want to be wrong because I like that series.
I think you might be right.
I think it's done.
It's going to care by the time it eventually.
I know we're at 4 movies, 4 years. Pattinson says like I haven't even seen a script yet. Like
I know. We'll see.
If there was no DCU, take your time and keep going.
Right.
But we've got a whole other thing that's going. You got to get a Batman going.
Couldn't agree more. Baba Yaga. Kristian, with you being an Arnold fan, I'm sure you're aware of Franco Columbo, of course, Pumping Iron Man, and the impact he had on Arnold's life. So we're really okay that Timothy's going to play him. Is Timothy Chalamet going to play Franco Columbo? Is he going to?
That's a joke. Come on now.
And Mike for Sub-Zero in and they said you should play Sub-Zero and
because I'm good with freezing. I got it.
Chalamet, Franco Columbo.
Franco Columbo. That's a fucking name. Franco Columbo.
Is he really? No.
Franco Columbo.
They won.
That's a joke.
It's a joke. He made me search it. That was fun. That was good.
He gotcha.
The Minecraft movie is going to bomb, isn't it? No, I don't think so at all. I don't think it's going to bomb.
I don't know what to think of that movie. Again, I don't play Minecraft, so I'm not the audience. But
we're definitely not the audience. But remember, like there are tons of kids out there that were playing that.
But isn't Minecraft? Did they move on to like Fortnite and stuff like that? Isn't Minecraft like 5-6 years ago big?
No, it was. I mean, it's been longer than that. Armada is 5,000 likes too much for the Daredevil reaction post. No, it's too little, to be honest. So basically, I wrote a post that there's some people who won the reaction for Sam and I said we should watch the Daredevil series. And I said, first of all, the original, right? The first 3. Yeah. And I'm like, we've got to see if anybody really cares because there's a lot of episodes to do that. Yeah. Because I'm doing the Born Again episodes and nobody cares. It's like 10,000 views on an episode. Nobody really cares about the reactions to it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll do a poll. And if 5,000 people click on yes, well then, okay, then that means that hopefully at least 5,000 people actually click on the actual episode itself. Right. And so I don't even think that's little. So too much for the Daredevil? No, 100% no. I should have set it at 10. All right, next one. And I love that show. It's just it's got to make sense as far as like, time to do. We just did her and I just did 3 episodes of WandaVision, which will come out next week. Dennis Hoffman, Russo brothers coming back to the MCU. Feels very much like JJ coming back for episode 9. Not great, Bob. I think it's different. I think that the difference between Russo's and JJ, I'm curious, Steph, what you think about this, is that whereas they already had somebody set up for episode 9. They had Trevorrow. He was ready, crafted something out. He was ready to go. He had basically put together a story that crafted from JJ to Ryan to his. And then they brought back JJ, who had nothing to do with Ryan's version, and made his own thing again. So they just brought it back. This isn't that. This is like, okay, who do we like? We're going to get the Russos to basically craft this. They don't have, there's nothing that's coming from before them that they have to adhere to. They don't have to say, oh, well, this is what was told. Now we have to do this. I mean, maybe the comics and stuff, but no, I don't feel like it's the same. Do you feel like it's the same?
No, yeah, I feel like even if JJ had just come back and there was no Trevorrow before, we would have had a completely different outcome than what we got. So I think that really it's different, but I hear you.
Mike, what do you think?
I think completely different. I think, JJ, that's your, the Russos are, they were brought back to fix things. Well, maybe it is kind of similar. Like if you would have brought JJ in for Star Wars for Force Awakens, not the same. But bringing him back for 9 and then the Russos coming back for Endgame, it's kind of like to fix it, right the ship. So kind of is.
If you're asking to right the ship, if that's the argument, I mean, sure. But as far as there's nothing, because JJ was writing the ship on a movie, whether you liked it or not, on a movie that was divisive.
I see what you're saying, and he said the
movie. Well, there's no movie that what are they playing from? They're not playing from anything. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. I see both sides on that one.
Yeah, I could see it too. Go Pal. I saw the Electric State and found it perfectly adequate. I will echo Dan Merle's take that Tucci was fully committed and did a good job. He always is.
See, I don't even know Tucci's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he was in it.
You got an actor like Stanley Tucci
Right.
Why aren't you hyping it?
Yeah. He's
yeah,
really
but I feel like Netflix on that one just
tough.
well, I think that there's a huge population that has a Chris Pratt fatigue right now and is
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Well,
Yeah,
here's another
so
thing too.
I
Okay.
think
I'm
that
sorry.
affected like for me, I was like I wasn't clamoring to watch a movie with him like I
Okay.
probably would have a few years ago. I'm like, okay, this feels a little, but they didn't even put Tucci in their Netflix, their little trailers can go straight to hell. I
Oh, they're
don't
horrible.
even know what they're
Not trailers.
doing. What
Not trailers. It's a random
it like
scene.
kills a lot of things. Like
Yeah.
every time I'm like, this kind of looks cool, and then I'll watch the trailer. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Why would I click it?
But it's not trailer. It's random scenes
Yeah,
that don't even
random
reflect
scenes
what it
that
is.
don't even have the main characters
No.
most of the time.
No.
Well,
so
I think
stupid.
I think for the main thing is Netflix probably doesn't have to rely on advertising agencies. They're like, we don't need that.
Yeah.
We got the biggest platform in the world. Just show clips.
Right. All right. Go, pal. How much of this ridiculous budget is how much of the ridiculous budget is overpaying upfront because nobody gets residuals? And does anyone know how much that part costs? I always think that the
There is that.
overpaying, that's part of it, but there's also overpaying. It depends on the movie. And Mike talked about this, I think, on last week's show, where sometimes you could have ridiculous P&A expenses. You could have ridiculous salaries. You get different. It varies. It varies on what deals are made by the agents. It varies. Isn't no one movie is the same. So
Yeah.
Good point.
yeah. Okay. Next one, and this is Trey Porter. Does Gilmore 2 do bigger numbers than Axel Foley? I think it's got a shot. I think it's got a shot.
100%. I'm not into Happy Gilmore. I didn't like the first one. I'm not a Sandler fan of that kind of thing. But there is such a beloved thing for Happy Gilmore that's kind of generational.
Yep.
Whereas Beverly Hills Cop
did well though. Beverly Hills Cop.
It did well, but it's you and I. It's our, and even then I didn't watch it. So I'm like,
did pretty well.
I feel like Adam Sandler, to the generational point, every generation likes him.
Yeah,
he's he crosses generations,
and I think that doing that thing on the Oscars was probably helpful too. That was one of the best bits. Simon. Okay, I saw Electric State last night, and to be honest, it reminded me of Ready Player One meets Chappie. Oh, don't put that. I'm out. Anything reminds me of Chappie.
I'm out.
Chappie was the worst. And there's Giancarlo Esposito. He's in it too. Wow.
That's what I heard today.
Sad thing is, I know that Gareth Edwards could do all this for 1/4 of the budget easily. I mean, anybody could have done that for 1/4 of the budget. There's no way that movie should have cost $325 million. That's insane.
That's crazy.
Money laundering.
Maybe. Kyle Wilson, what is the longest runtime you can handle for a Nolan film in the theater? I tap out at 3:30. It just depends on the movie, man. It just
no good movie is too long. That's my theory.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it just depends on
the movie.
And I say that as a guy that gets the giant soda and gets a refill. So
yeah, well, I was talking about. I remember I was just talking like Braveheart is an example, right? Like I was talking about Winston's never seen it, and it was like he's going to come here, and we're going to watch Braveheart, and like I was like it's a little over 3 hours long, and he's like, oh, I was like, yeah, so you don't feel it. Good movie, you don't feel it. Kenya King, have you all seen the Toxic Avenger trailer and poster? I saw like a second of it, and I was like, I saw him like slash the guy's face.
I mean, I get what they're doing with it. It's cheesy, stupid.
But the original was a B movie.
It's what it was. It's a cult classic.
It's not for me. It's
probably going to cost $10 million.
And I'm like,
it'll make all its money back.
And I hope it does. I want nothing to do with it. You guys are at 57 thus far.
Okay.
63.
73. Dennis Hoffman. I'd argue that Marvel TV tried to improve post Defenders. Daredevil season 3 is great, and Iron Fist, while not good, is a huge improvement to season 1. Love Luke Cage. I can't speak enough into that because I still don't think I've seen season 3 of Daredevil. I've definitely seen 1 and 2. And
I get what you're saying. Like Jessica Jones season 2 compared to 1 was not good. Luke Cage season 2 was not good, but then they did try and come back. You felt some kind of weirdness in there. I mean, overall, they're great. All of them are good. There's no bad one in there. I mean, Iron Fist season 1 is bad, but I think that was kind of rushed into production. And
Mearsum, May the force be with you all, Steph, Kristian, and Mike. Thank you. How's everyone doing? I'm
Thank
doing
you.
good. And I'm so proud of Roxy. We all are. She seems to have a great time in London. Yeah, she seems like she's having a blast. I can't wait until she's back next week so we can talk to her about it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Josh Needle. There's been so many instances of backlash over a trailer showing too much, only for people to end up being wrong once they see the movie. Respect your opinion, but I think it's an overblown issue. Not always. I'll never forget, like the Avengers.
Who was that? Who said? Was that Miriam?
No, that's Josh Needle. You can see it if you look at the screen. You can see it.
I thought you clicked it overhead, you dickhead.
Well, it's literally. I thought it clicked over. Literally, exactly.
I was watching you, not looking at the screen, smart ass.
But you can look at the screen and you can find out.
I can't do two things at once. I can't.
Oh, so you're a moron.
Josh, give me an example of a movie trailer that everyone thought spoiled it, but the movie came out and it didn't.
Yeah.
And I also asked you, did you see the most recent Ballerina, and do you feel the movie was spoiled? I'm curious. Yeah. I'm not judging. I'm curious because for me, I was very excited with that first trailer. The second trailer, I'm like, well, I know the plot of the movie now. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I think that like I use the Avengers as I kind of never forget like when Hulk catches Iron Man, and I said, oh, I guess he catches Iron Man, and then I remember seeing the movie in the theater and he was falling. I'm like, oh, Hulk's about to catch him, and Hulk caught him, and I was like, oh, I hated that I knew that. So yeah, it does. It happens all of the time.
And I get if a movie like there's no buzz, there's no nothing. You gotta wow and all, like
whatever you can.
I'll tell you this, buddy. I'll tell you this, and you know me on this. The fact that the past 3 Mission Impossible movies have spoiled his big stunt. I'm like, why would you show that motorcycle going off that cliff?
I know.
Why would you do that?
Well,
I
guess
kills it.
I guess it's your earlier point, right? Just like, oh, you're gonna see
kills it.
I know it does.
Stop it right before he jumps, because in your head you know he's going, but you don't see it.
Right. Alex,
hate it.
I get it, Alex. I will always be brokenhearted about Batgirl. I find it hard to believe from the guys who set the tone for Ms. Marvel in the MCU with Keaton and Fraser could be worse than half the slop we got. Maybe not, but like I said, Alex, it's a business first and foremost.
But also, Alex, with those guys you mentioned, those guys are only as good as the tools they're given.
Right.
So if what they were given they can't work with, like that's I personally too would love to see it. I want to know just what was so bad.
I'm never gonna see it. Don H, do you think Gunn will add a Batgirl to his DCU eventually? Yes.
100%.
Yes, eventually. Yeah.
100%. And maybe it will be Leslie Grace. Who knows? I doubt it, but
no, it won't be. Okay, next one is Go Pal. Releasing Batgirl at this point in theaters with at least a minimal ad campaign feels like a complete mess, even if it's actually good. Agreed.
100%.
To which you follow. 100%. I'd like to see it on Max just for curiosity. Yeah, but they lose their tax break if they do that.
Yeah, that's true. But that's interesting. Someone brought up if they sell Looney Tunes, how does that affect the tax break? Because if they sell it to the company,
it would affect it dramatically.
What's going to happen?
Go Pal. Also, I'd love to see the O2 series Birds of Prey get a streaming release with Dina Meyer as Barbara Gordon playing Oracle.
I have that on DVD, like a copy of it. I loved it when it was out. Now watching it, you're like, okay.
I don't remember.
But Dina Meyer is awesome.
Mike Joyce, I watched Chocolat for the first time and I loved it, but now I'm craving chocolate. And has Judi Dench ever played a role where she isn't an old lady? Yes, but I think it's like Rodney Dangerfield. She really took off in her later years. You know what I mean?
She's one of those people that just always looked older.
Yeah.
Although I said, Helen Mirren, have you ever seen her younger, like in Excalibur? Oh my God.
She's
smoke show.
Really?
What a fucking smoke show.
So good.
Really? I'm going to look that up.
Look at Helen Mirren, Excalibur.
1923. Oh. She's so good in 1923. ZB, left field question. If there were a remake of Enemy Mine, they should make a remake of Enemy Mine.
What a movie.
So good. Mickey Mouse. Would you recast in the 2 lead roles? Right now I'm putting Brendan Sklenar in everything. I put him as the Dennis Quaid role. And you could put anybody in the let's see, who would you put in the alien role? I mean, maybe actually I think Marshall Ali would be pretty damn good in that, in the Dennis in the Louis Gossett Jr. role. I love that movie.
That's such a good movie, man.
Steph has no idea what we're talking about.
No.
And there was a run. There was a run in the 80s, 90s with Dennis Quaid where he was just unstoppable. That
Yeah.
Inner
Oh yeah,
Space, like
inner space. Yeah, for sure.
God, there was like a spy movie with him and Kathleen Turner. I forgot what it was. God, yeah, Dennis Quaid, man, I loved him.
Yeah. Okay. Bobby Jackson. Zaslav said releasing Batgirl might hurt people involved, but it seems like not releasing it hurt Leslie Grace. I haven't seen anything since. Well, Bobby, here's the thing. What if the movie was a complete shit piece? And as Mike said, what if she was the problem? What if she was terrible? Wouldn't they ultimately have been doing her a favor?
What has Leslie Grace done before Batgirl? I never heard of her.
I don't know. Not sure.
I don't know.
Thought she did a CW show. Let's see.
Okay.
Speaking of Dennis Quaid's son is the
is the guy in
from the
Novocaine
boys, right? In Novocaine.
Yeah.
Did you see Novocaine yet, Kristian?
No, I didn't see it. She was in Novocaine?
What the hell's his name?
No, his son.
Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid.
Yeah, he's great.
Did you see it, Steph?
No, not yet. I want to though. Oh, she was in the Heights. That's what that was. Where
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that was her big
yeah.
one. Okay, so she's held her own in a big budget film, and no one said, "Ooh, this girl is terrible."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're there. That's where we're at because she
hasn't been
held her own, and
Yeah.
no one in that film was like the lead, not good.
Right.
So
No,
okay,
she was
held
great
her-
in
so,
it.
So maybe we need to take that off the table.
Simon section. I know what I'm excited for is Kristian's out of the theater in June, early May 2026. Kristian has the power reaction, but does he have any class to hide his emotions? Please don't tease me. I respect your pitch. Do you get that all the way through, Simon? You're losing me a little bit here today, bud. I don't get this one all the way through.
He's just excited for your reactions.
That I
starting
got.
early May.
I love that. Has the
You
power.
got the power reaction.
Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot, Simon. He's talking about
Yeah, you
masculine
are an
power.
idiot.
Really, yeah. Thank you. You're not. You can't. I'm surprised you can read that, Mike. It's on the screen.
I'm looking right at it now. Smart ass.
Anyway, so now I get it. I'm sorry. So Simon, thank you. I understand what you're talking about. Mike's a moron. Corn Emperor. I said Boo Earns. I'd buy the Schmodown audiobook. Yeah, but you'd be the only one. Cooley High. What up, fam? Release Batgirl and just put it on Max. They can't. They'll lose their tax credit. I mean, we got Madame Web and Craven. Both of those were turds. Yeah, but they released them in theaters. They didn't get a tax credit from it. If the film was completed, it deserves to be seen. I don't agree with that. Flash costs the studio money. Be easy. I love you. I love Cooley High more than anything. It's one of the greatest
easy, buddy.
ever. But I disagree with you on that one, my friend. All right, let's see. Next one. You guys are at 60. 13 to go.
Okay, let's
Wow,
go.
what's going on? This is a rough.
It's a rough one.
Here.
13. Yeah, Big Bang
Jesus.
OT4. Percy Jackson showrunners making the new Power Rangers. That should be hopeful for Power Rangers.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Cooley High follows it up. Good seeing y'all. Good to see Brett back. Love. Yeah, it's good to have Brett back. He's been back the last couple of weeks. Okay. Next one is Mike Pelly. Steph, I watched your reactions to Pirates 1. So fun.
Oh
You like
yes,
Pirates?
it was really fun. I really liked Pirate. We finished the movies.
Yeah.
You're just watching the Pirates of the Caribbean for the first
Yeah.
time, Steph? Wow.
Yeah. And I
Wow,
like
alright.
most of them. I like all of them. I really enjoyed most of them.
All right.
Okay.
Stephanie Litz, top 3 steps. 3, me, 2, Lady Gaga, 1, Sabraw. Top 3
Love
steps.
it.
There you go.
She is a Steph. She is a Stephanie.
That's right. She sure is. But Stephanie, come on, you should put yourself number 2. Simon section, apologies. Let me explain. Conversations with Chris is a spin-off show of the Kristian Harloff show in my mind. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Louis Tan's Mortal Kombat character's power is similar to BP. It absorbs kinetic punches energy.
I get what he's saying. Yeah.
I'm a geek. No, I understand. I get it, Simon. I totally understand now. Okay, thank you. And yes, conversations with Chris. No one really calls me Chris, so that's why I was like confused. I think you meant Chris Carr. So there you go. That makes sense. Thank you, Simon, for explaining that. I appreciate it. Simon, thank you for all the wonderful support here today, my friend.
Yeah.
Go Pal. I don't know the first thing about Minecraft, but Emma Myers is goddamn adorable. And Wednesday, and I like her Good Girl's Guide to Murder on Netflix. She's the best friend in Wednesday, right?
Right, Edith, or
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I met her and Jenna Ortega at that Netflix party a couple of years ago, and they were both very nice, very nice.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, and I hope, and she's in it, so I think it's going to do well. Hey,
Me
Mike,
too.
Tyler, question for Mike: do you need Nathan Drake? Is Snow White 2025 better than the Kristen Stewart movies? I thought so. Those are pretty bad. Also, Kristian will kill me, but Eraser over Commando all day.
Oh my God, Nathan Drake, you're my favorite. Eraser, best Schwarzenegger. Eraser is Schwarzenegger's best film by far.
You're a crazy person.
By far.
I have to revisit that movie. I've seen it once.
Eraser is
all I remember about that is luggage. That's all I remember about that.
Now your luggage. Come on.
Luggage.
It's me and Vanessa Williams. Come on.
Not his best movie, but it is
by far his best movie.
It's not better than Commando. So you're both out of your minds. But I do think, yes, it's better than the Kristen Stewart movies for sure. Abel John, Tony was the central force of the Infinity Saga, and all the storylines revolved around him. Who in the multiverse saga is in that same place? I mean, that's a great call. None
of us know.
No, and I think what's going to happen, I think Mike said this last time, they have to treat Doomsday, Spider-Man, and Secret Wars as a trilogy, almost like Lord of the Rings. Give me all the setup and establish who's going to be your leader and everything in that first movie. And then in the way you do a normal first movie of any franchise, you got to almost pretend that a lot of this stuff didn't even come. Who set me up? Who's the protagonist of this film? Who is, and what's their story? Who's it going to be about? Who are we going to care about? That's what they have to do in this first movie. Steph, what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. That's like the whole issue is like you're wondering who are the main characters, and you can list them, but there's not a driving force at all right now.
Big Bang OT4. Star Wars needs to make more stuff like Andor, but with lightsaber duels. Love Revenge of the Sith for the epic duels. Hire the Andor writers for the movies. They need more than just the writers, though. They need people who can establish that tone. But like I said many times over, unfortunately, I don't think the powers of B feel the same way. But I'm so excited. That's one thing I do look forward to what we used to do. Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah. When does Andor start?
April 20, like the last week of April, I think.
Because we're gonna go back to doing what we used to do for like because we didn't do it for Skeleton Crew because I don't think any of us Steph watched it, but I think that we're gonna go back to what we're doing with the Acolyte and everything else. We're gonna do like full on spoiler discussion.
But aren't they dropping 3 episodes at a time?
Just for the it's 3, 6, 9. I think it's boom, boom, boom.
I think because remember last year we were like hook, uppercut. Like it was the whole.
I'm gonna see if I can get screeners for.
Why are they doing that, man? Why it was so good week to week.
Tony Gilroy said it was not his decision. Was it?
Of course, it wasn't his decision. But he's pissed.
Yeah, Mike Pellet.
I bet he is pissed.
I'm sure. Doomsday Theory. When creating the sacred timeline, he who remains wanted to prevent Doom from being the big bad, so he made the Starks raise him instead. Hence, Robert Downey Jr. was never a real Stark.
Mike, that's a great theory, buddy. And if they do something like that, 75% of the audience is going to be like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Who's he who remains?
Yeah,
but I can see them doing something like that.
Too much for me now.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah, that's too much.
Gregory Dopp. Hi, all. Good news from Mando and group. Of a solid budget, I can smell success. Looking forward to it. If like the Disney show kicked up a notch, yes. Yeah, that's what they got to do. If they keep it contained and give you a good story like they did in the first one, then maybe they do. There you go.
Right.
Jose Diaz. Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Curious, who has the better films, Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino? Scorsese's got more of a library.
That's so hard.
Yeah, but Tarantino, I don't think
like if you put Scorsese's best 8 up against Quentin's 8.
Quentin's 8 is pretty much his filmography.
That's it basically.
Yeah, that's too hard to do.
That's all you can do. Yeah,
yeah.
If you want to put, well, I couldn't even do that. I was just say put Nolan against Tarantino.
Nah, it's just too hard because Martin Scorsese has way more. He's got way more films. He just has more films, so you'd have to go. Scorsese. You just have more to choose from,
and more like genre dipping. Yeah, I feel like Quentin is so.
It's Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
Nathan Drake, as a gamer, I think the Minecraft movie is about 10 years too late. Maybe. I don't hear any gamers talking about it anymore. Fortnite is the big thing now.
See, I don't even play either of those, Nathan, but I feel that. 100%.
Maybe.
It seems too late.
Maybe so.
I feel like they're hoping for a Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
Right. Nathan Drake, how many schmoes did you give Chappie? Too many, if whatever it was. I don't remember, but too many. I hated that movie. God, I hated the movie. Jonathan Rodriguez, thank you, Jonathan. What do you think the Mandalorian movie will lead to in the end, or will it just be a Mandalorian TV film, or maybe a next season episode? I don't think it's going to lead to another series. I think they're going to be done with it after this. But I do think that it will potentially lead to helping Filoni set up Ahsoka season 2 and lead to his eventual thing if that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll.
Yeah,
be
I
like
think
a
we're done with
huge-
Mandalorian. I think he'll pop up in the films, but this will be it.
Okay, Bobby Jackson. It is funny that the Warner Brothers execs watched Batgirl and said, no thanks, we'll watch Joker 2, and said, we got a winner, boys. Well, they also spent $250 million on that movie.
Yeah.
I think Warner Brothers execs, when they saw that movie, were like, well, we didn't understand the first one. That made $1 billion. I don't understand this one. It's going to make $1 billion.
I think you're
That's
right.
what their thinking is.
I think you're right. Mike, Kristian, we share the same taste in movies. I always agree with your takes, not so much other YouTubers. Hey, it's like any other person that you watch that gives reviews or anything too. There's some people, the reason why you watch them is because their tastes align with yours, and that's why you watch them. Maybe that's why it's subjective. A lot of the other people. Thank you, Mike. That was very kind. Go Pal. Eraser is the one with the handheld railgun. Yeah, it's the one no one remembers because it's forgettable.
Shut your mouth.
Gregory Dopp. Some trailers do show too much. It can impact me a little. Yeah, it just depends on what it is. Some trailers are fantastic. King of the Wicker People. Eraser is dumb fun. Predator is Arnold's best film. That one I'm not going to argue with you. Very well, Mike.
I'd say Predator is better than Commando, and I love Commando.
Yeah, of course. Predator is better than Commando. Of course it is. A better movie? Of course.
Eraser is still my favorite.
I just love Commando. Go Pal. I haven't done the math, but it feels like the recoil from accelerating a projectile to realistic speeds would be pretty rough. Maybe. Could be. I think you're right.
Go Pal, that's why it's a movie, buddy.
Yeah. Cooleyheim. It's all good, bro. Agree to disagree. Mike, you the man. Eraser is the best. I love when Arnold says, you are erased.
You've been erased.
We say you are erased. Come on. What are you doing? Mike's over there today. At least I am normally the Mr. Freeze. And sometimes when we are here doing this, he is the Mr. Freeze, but not today. It's been good. The internet has been okay. It's been not like Skynet. It does not have to be terminated. It's good. Cooleyheim. Can't wait to see a working man with Jason Statham. I see it next week.
Yeah, you know something? There's like 3 or 4 films that are kind of under the radar that are coming out that I'm excited for. I got that. I got The Amateur with Rami Malek. Sounds good. Accountant 2.
Screening
for all
of course.
Screen for all.
But was it Shadow Force with Kerry Washington? But it's directed by Joe Carnahan. That action film with him and Mark Strong.
Oh yeah,
that looks good.
All right, let's see. Next one here is I can't get the damn thing. Oh, there it is. Tyler. Sorry, I couldn't finish my question on Mike. I'm sorry, I have a bad connection. All right, Mike,
I see what he's doing. I see what he's fucking doing. Tyler's got jokes. Tyler's got fucking jokes today.
How about this? Okay. So right now, we're calling it thank you. Appreciate that. So right now, we're calling it we're at the end of the show, and you guys are at 69.
Okay, guys.
73.
Now, this is Steph again, too. Every time we're about to sign off, we're gonna see.
We got this.
Can Steph do it again? We'll give the sign off before we go. You guys need 4 to tie, 5 to win. So Steph, before the audience either decides to choose your fate. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
My section is, in case anyone is wondering, the first guest in the spin-off show Conversations with Kristian Harloff, in my mind, will be James Mangold, and he will address the issue of, does my ship need help going to hyperspace? I would love to interview James Mangold. I would love to. I've made the pitch a bunch of different times. Love to. Absolutely would love to. Joyous Romer, may the force be with you. Thank you. Okay, look at this. Now you guys are 1 away. Black Bag movie review.
Oh,
Haven't seen it.
I heard good stuff about
Can't
it.
review it, but I hear good things.
You didn't get a screener?
Not yet. Support from Doe Eyes. Thank you. Dawn H. Will you guys be recapping Andor season 2? Yes. So the way that will work is the way we used to do it.
You bet your ass.
What's going to happen is I'll do an immediate reaction to the episode. Then I will release the reactions themselves. So I'm going to react to the episodes. And then I'll probably just do spoiler reviews right after my reactions, and then the full-on spoiler discussion will be with myself, Mike, and Steph the following day. So there you go. We got some support there. We got
Thank
Miriam, we
you.
got Doc, some more support from Nathan. We got GoPal. I think it's 69 would be nice, but it's so close. It's true.
69 dudes.
Tyler, remember me with the Russian fart joke? Glad to be back. Have a good
Yeah.
This guy, look at him. He's killing himself. He's killing himself. He thinks he's clever.
Fam said waiting to see Snow White on Disney Plus. Yeah, that's what I'm curious to see what happens there, man. I'm very curious. Gregory Dot, Steph, Mike, Kristian, best of support. Thank you, Gregory. Matt Fast, here is my lead money for the day. Thank you, Matt.
It's
And
latte money, smartass. Latte money, not his lady money.
whatever,
You blind fuck.
I am blind.
You blind fuck.
So we have now Severance, and you're laughing too. Fuck you too. So there we go.
Oh, I miss you, fucks.
Everybody's
Oh,
late.
man.
Severance season 2 finale tonight. There you go. For that one.
Yes.
Alex, don't stop at Doomsday Theory just yet. Highly recommend looking at Den and Nerd's video on it. It makes sense and gives context to Doctor Strange one with Tony. Yeah, I know.
Alex, I get you, buddy, but that's just too convoluted, pal.
It's so convoluted.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't just aim it at the geeks
Think
like
of-
us.
Alex, think of Infinity War. He wants these stones. He gets all these stones. He takes out humanity. We've got to get the stones back. Done. That's all it was.
Yeah.
As many movies as it was just Thanos needs these stones. We got to prevent him from getting the stones.
Right.
It is very inside baseball, Susanna. You're right. All right now, last one. Cooley High. This is for Mike and Steph to take the lead. Let's go. Not only have they taken the lead, they're up by 10. It's 84.
Yes.
They're
Nice
84.
lead.
Now it's all up to Winston. Now Winston
He won
did
last
it.
week, right?
He
Himself,
did.
right?
He beat. Yeah, he was the one who beat Brett. He won last week. He
Yeah.
beat by himself. But Coy's back tomorrow too. So, but you're getting yourselves more of a lead here. And Armada says watching this at the museum and accidentally had audio up when Mike said the F word.
Yeah, well, he
it's
said
all-
it 4
it's
times
art,
in a
buddy.
row.
yeah, that's always
So-
that's all Mike does. That's all Mike does. He's a
No one
class-
can swear.
He's a
My
classless.
swearing's an art
pig.
form.
He's a classless, disgusting pig. All right, Steph, where can they find you?
At Steph Sabraw, and next week we're gonna do our final World Girl show on the channel, so come watch.
All right, you filth animal. Where can they find you?
You can find me at your local cafe where I'm going to spend some money having ladies. I enjoy a nice lady, hot lady every day. So,
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
what's your latte, you dumb shit?
Sometimes keep.
What are you doing, lady, looking in my house? There's some lady looking in my window right here at me. Look what you're looking at, lady.
Because she heard you say hot lady. Alex, it's honestly not convoluted when we've all been whining there was no build-up. This builds up the back of Infinity Saga. Also, the Russo said it would challenge the audience. We'll see. You might be right, Alex. We'll double check. Okay, so let's see. Simon section. Kristian, are you watching Magazine Dreams tonight? I'm watching it tonight. Will any of you? Probably not. I think I'm going to watch Severance. I'm trying to catch up. I'm going to watch.
Come on theaters tonight.
I think so. I'm going to watch.
This is a tough one. I don't know, man. Then there's the new audio that just came out where he talks about being an aggressor to her, and he's like, "Yeah, I aggressed you," and I'm just like,
"Oh,
I don't know."
I didn't realize which one it was. Does that come out tonight? It comes out tonight. I don't know. Maybe
that's.
I didn't realize what it was. I know what it is now. Yeah, I do want to see it. I don't know. We'll see. Armada. I feel like Mike could outdo Wahlberg as Wahlberg. Maybe.
Oh, hey, where you going, guys? Say hi to mother for me.
Maybe not.
You do?
All right. So let's say goodbye to everybody. Hey, Mike.
Hey, you want to say goodbye? I'll say goodbye to you. Yeah. Say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah.
Goodbye for me.
Really
Yeah, all right. Let's say
all right.
goodbye.
Thank you guys for chiming in today. All of you guys.
What?
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right,
No.
I've had about enough of this. Thank you to Steph. Thank you to Mike. Thank you to Mike's Internet for working today. And and we'll see you guys on the flip side. We appreciate you very, very much. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. We'll be back here tomorrow. Capes and Cows, myself, Winston, and Coy. Paul Giamatti will be Batman.
Motherfucking Batman!
That's right. And we will see you guys on the flip side. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.